Buddy.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the Tasteless Time Warp 2. Special thanks to Realms Worlds for supporting this event. I'm glad we get to do a second one of these. I appreciate the subs, by the way. I see you in the chat. Thank you, Random Hyper One. No alerts for this. Obviously, we don't want to have that muck up the broadcast. Special thanks to Kiwian, Caster Muse, and Crank. They're on the Korean side of things. Did we get Indy in, by the way, for the Polish cast? He said he wanted to do it, but I guess he might be joining late. Anyways, it's very cool to be having another one of these. These have been a lot of fun. If you missed the first event, we're basically following the same format. I'll actually put this up on screen right now. So this is what we've got. It's 2 best of 5s to start this out. If it is tied up 1-1, we will go to the ace match. So the way to think about this is that we have one team that only plays StarCraft 1 and the other team only plays StarCraft 2. Then we flip that. So all the people that are playing StarCraft 1 are now playing StarCraft 2. All the people that are playing StarCraft 2 are now playing StarCraft 1. And if we do go to a third match, each team basically selects somebody who is they think is ideal to play in both StarCraft 1 as well as StarCraft 2. And you know, the winner of that takes it. So fingers crossed, everybody, that we do get a third match here. We've had some very close games here. If it does turn out to be a 3-0, we probably will just go ahead and play the extra match just because the players are here, and I feel like it's good content. And as much as I want to make this some kind of a competition, I also just, on a selfish level, probably the same as you guys, want to explore and see what the games are going to look like. I'm joined here with Gemini, who is going to be piloting the ship.
Yes, I'm trying to get everyone in the lobbies and everything, so that's why I'm letting Tasteless say everything right now, but thank you for covering for me.
No problem. So but, if I'm talking for too long, that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had a great time earlier. What was it? Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, doing our first Tasteless Time Warp.
Yeah, it was great. It was super cool to see how everything works out, how the mod is going. There's been, I think, a couple updates lately with how some things work since the last time we did it. I just saw that someone who's doing the art for it just added a new scout model, which is super updated and cool looking. So that'll be great to never see that used ever in any of the games.
Yeah, to see that unit pop out and not know what the old version of that looked like. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to see this is sort of a mod that's in a kind of living. How do I say this? It's being updated constantly. It's being managed and cared for, which is fun. And I said this in the last Tasteless Time Warp, but I'm kind of surprised we didn't think of this earlier. It's such a good idea. People are always comparing the two StarCrafts, but you never get to see the two races actually duke it out.
Yeah.
So for our lineup here to start this off, for the first best of 5, Cure versus Snow to start this off. Cure with the StarCraft 1 Terrence. Snow with the StarCraft 2. After that, it's going to be Stork, Hero, Hyun, TY, and then Stats, Saxery. So we are going to have a mirror matchup in here. We were pretty mirror matchup starved, which I felt was a disservice to everybody in the Tasteless Time Warp 1. I feel like we're really going to have... We got to see all the matchups. Mirror match, it's kind of another interesting thing to see, like a Protoss versus Protoss from the two games and how they compare and how they look.
Yeah, the mirror matchups are quite interesting. I agree. The TVT last time, of course, we had the Ghost match with TY, kind of doing a little bit of trolling, maybe, but it was pretty cool to see, regardless. So maybe he'll try to throw something like that out again as well. We'll see. But we're gonna get into the first game actually because we already have it all set up and ready to go.
Let me just tab out and hide my camera.
Yeah, get us out of here.
Oh, I got it. Not so fast.
Oh, Tasteless is in control.
You can see this nightmare setup I have on OBS. No, okay, there we go. This is Frankenstein. A number of things that are not showing right now. I use this overlay for a lot of different things.
It'll pop up soon, guys. Don't worry. The full screen SC2 sometimes takes a second to show up in OBS. It should show up in OBS. Did you not? Oh, you didn't. You may not have put StarCraft 2 visible.
No. Yeah, I got it. Give me 1 second. We're off to a great start. This is exactly what I wanted. This is going to be StarCraft 2. Okay. And now this should show up. Let's take a look.
There,
all right, there
it
he
is.
Woo! All right.
There it is. All right. Finally, we have in the top left, playing as the Brood War Terran, it is going to be Cure. And on the bottom right, we have playing as StarCraft 2 Protoss, it is Snow. The map's going to be Fighting Spirit. We did host the correct Fighting Spirit this time as well, so that's great. We are going to have no redos, so that'll be perfect. This is actually hilarious, by the way, looking at this. Snow is double probe scouting, because that's just kind of what you do sometimes in Brood War Protoss on four-player maps. Oh, it's because he's proxying one game. Okay, that makes
I was
going
to say, you generally don't. I was about to jump in and
I mean, like,
defend him. Like, well, because Snow doesn't play StarCraft 2 really at all.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's been like something that's happened at least once or twice in Brood War 4-player maps. Has it not been? You just like try to scout super early just to see where they're going, or like maybe catch like. I mean, it's not Berserk this time. You see the Overlord moving or something like that.
I mean, it's rare, but I mean, I think the thing is like whatever would be normal in Brood War, it's almost not even applicable here, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wondering. It's like if you're just accidentally just doing that just because of some like funny Brood War. Because it never happens in StarCraft.
Scouting early you can do, but the thing is with StarCraft 1 scouting, you don't do it because you don't start out with enough workers to ever send 2 out to like make it okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is starting to look, like your StarCraft 2 cheese build. I guess this is going to be for an Oracle.
Yeah, it might be even Void Ray, but I feel like the distance from where the Stargate actually is should probably be Oracle. And given the fact that there's not very many things, I think, that could actually shoot up here for the Brood War Terran, this could be extremely lethal because. Also, turrets are really hard to get in this as Brood War Terran as well. So I feel like the Oracle very early could just completely wreak havoc. I mean, Kira has scouted it by this point. He knows that there's some weird stuff going on, so he's going to know that he's got to prepare for something. But he's got one Marine. There's a single Marine on the map right now.
This is a Brood War build, by the way, to go for like quick drop ship with Vultures. But I feel like he's just going to lose literally everything. This may be the shortest game of the entire.
Yeah.
Hey.
There we go.
The only thing that's unfortunate for Snow is he's going to learn how quickly that Oracle energy runs out.
Well, actually, the 60 health, right? The fact that they're much beefier will actually technically mean they will kill less.
That's actually a good point.
But 8 is still,
he's making another one.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Of course, he sees that. He's like, oh yeah,
Tasteless,
I'm not stopping making these the whole game. Why not?
By the way, Vulture's actually pretty good against Stalkers. If you play StarCraft 1, Dragoons pretty much don't die to Vultures unless they get hit with a Spider Mine or something, so they're bad at fighting. I don't know, dude. This is already looking pretty bad.
We do have a Wraith coming out, so that will at least kill the Oracles. And now, nice pylon block at the top of the ramp. I was going to say, there's nothing actually preventing these Vultures from getting inside the main, and that could have spelled the death for a lot of probes, but very nice wall off there for Snow, but... Yeah, it looks like this is not really going to be able to do anything here. The Vultures are going to have to get pushed back. The Oracles are now being exchanged for Void Rays, so...
So, I think a Void Ray just straight up beats a Wraith. I've never seen the 2 units fight, but the Wraith is actually a very weak unit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is this
actually going to... Yeah, I think this 100% dies before the Void Ray can come out.
The Oracle trying to come and save it, but it's not going to happen. Wow. About a second off from that Void Ray being spawned there, so... Nice little save, actually, for Cure, and considering the fact that Snow has been on one base this whole time and then walled himself off to then prevent himself from expanding, means that, I mean, the SCV counts are not that atrocious. Like, I was expecting this to be like a 30, 32 versus, like, 6 game right now, but it's, 29-22 is potentially playable, especially because it's going to be hard to get down to this natural.
By the way, it makes you wonder if had you just made a Void Ray instead of an Oracle, wouldn't you have just won the game?
Yeah, technically.
Right?
Yeah, because there was literally only one anti-air unit that would have died regardless. So, yeah, I think if it was a proxy Void Ray instead of Oracle, yeah, this game would definitely be over.
So, it's become a pretty interesting game. Both sides have taken a little bit of a beating. I think Cure's obviously limping through this game a little bit more than Snow, but at the same time, Snow doesn't have a base. The Vultures are a real threat. The Stalkers, again, they're much more brittle when compared to Dragoons. Dragoons are almost like a really powerful heavy unit you get early on in StarCraft. There's nothing quite like it when it comes to early game. I guess if you're from StarCraft, you could kind of think about it like a Marauder. Like, this is just a lot tougher than the other stuff that you have going on early on. So, he does push out. He does take a base. Things are going to slow down a little bit. Terran in StarCraft 1, if they don't do any damage with a 2-factory build, they're in trouble. But in this case, they did. I don't know exactly how a TVP sizes up in StarCraft EVO with this. But there is an Immortal pushing out. And the Vultures are going to run around.
Yep. There's nothing here to prevent this from getting into the main. There is a cannon in the mineral line, so that should help at least a little bit, but this is still a lot of Vultures, and they're extremely quick. They can easily outmaneuver this cannon, and the cannon's not even in a spot that can actually defend the entire mineral line anyways. Do the mines actually trigger onto SC2 probes?
No. Probes in StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 do not trigger mines.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if it was the same as in Brood War, but I guess, yeah, that is the case, so...
Yeah.
Luckily those won't happen.
I guess that had to be a deliberate decision, right?
Surely.
In the design, yeah. It wouldn't be fair, I guess, any other way.
Yeah.
And so the push comes in. Now, when you see big Vulture attacks like that, you did neglect tanks. You can't have the best of both worlds. 4 tanks are in the main, but none in the natural. So that's actually crazy to me. Why does he have 4 tanks in his main and nothing in his natural?
I think he just expanded, and then like the units were. I think Kieran noticed that nothing was defending the Vultures, so he probably just was like, okay, let me just lift up the main, or lift up the natural, make sure I don't at least lose it. And as long as he, I think, stays alive here, because you're just going to move these tanks forward, I think he should be totally fine, because that was a lot of probes that died. That was like 15 probes, 18 in total. But we're losing a sentry and some extra stalkers on the way out, too. So I think if Kira just is able to sit back and just relax a little bit, get some more tanks out, he's going to be totally fine, because this economy right now for Protoss is super hurting.
Someone in my chat says, is this a rerun or are these games live? Well, this is live, but these are all actors, just to be clear, okay? These are all paid actors.
Yes.
This is a little bit more like WWE. No, this is live. This is the SC EVO mod for people that are just now tuning in. This is... basically a StarCraft 1 race versus StarCraft 2 race with a set of pro gamers on teams on each side.
Yes. And we have paid them to act in front of us, and we've paid you all as well, chat. You are all being paid. If you didn't realize, check your PayPals. You've got a lot of money in your account right now to be here and just talk to us right now.
So we've got the third base being made. We kind of forgot to mention it. This map is Fighting Spirit. And... Fighting Spirit, generally, StarCraft 1 Terran can take a third base pretty easily. I think the Warp Prism changes a lot of the rules with that. It is pretty tricky. Okay, hold on a second. We got the Immortal coming in. Gonna go take out the add-on. You know, it's funny, in StarCraft 1, you never, ever target add-ons. It's just, like, not a thing, but I guess this kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to do a decent amount of damage. It's a little awkward to defend this. We're going to have to move all these tanks up, and the Stalkers are actually in the natural getting moved down as well, which is actually a bit of a miscommand. That wasn't on purpose there. And now that they're not here to defend, that actually means that the War Prism is going to go down as well. So he had them positioned originally to be able to defend the Wraiths from going too far to pick it off, but then accidentally moves them all into the tanks here. So this is looking really rough now for Snow, as he's really only got a couple of Immortals as his defense, and even those are going to get picked off because these Vultures are so fast.
Yeah, the issue is that, Immortals might be great against mech units. If the Vultures can put mines in front, they're not going to get away. And it looks like this mine's going to come up. It takes out one. An Immortal is actually slower than a StarCraft 1 tank. That's something that had not occurred to me before, so it actually can't retreat. That's going to be it. GG, Snow taps out. And I got to say, a pretty interesting game for Game 1.
One that I thought was going to end completely opposite, by the way,
Yeah.
because of the way the Oracles were shaping out at first.
Yeah, that was a funny start. So we had 2-factory Vulture right away, but a proxied Oracle. Terran didn't have any anti-air. I think we were saying minutes ago that don't start the game just yet. Okay.
I'm just getting
okay, just making sure. I was like, no, we're So what was I saying? Yeah, the Oracle obviously runs out of energy, so it can't kill all the workers. I guess if you go for a Void Ray, probably would have been a win in that game.
Yeah, it's hard to know, because especially when you put your Stargate in that position, it's not exactly that close by to be able to easily set up the rally point to get over there. So it's like you're just, okay, I'm just doing Oracle this time. I can't know that he's literally only got one Marine. It's like really hard. But if he was going for a slightly different build, then it would have been an absolute disaster for Cure.
Appreciate the bits earlier in the donations, guys. Very kind of you. This Nuke shirt, this says Nuke. over here. You can get this shirt at tastelessthreads.com. There's a ton of stuff on there. There's mugs, there's hoodies, there's hats, posters, not just of this design. We've got a bunch of stuff. So definitely check it out if you want to support us in that way. Maybe you're walking around the mall, and then you see someone else with a Tasteless Threads shirt on. You're both wearing it. You both become best friends. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm
No, you're right.
I'm literally making sure these guys are choosing the right race. I'm sorry.
Am I right or what?
Yeah, everything you say
Am
is
I
correct.
right or
Tasteless,
what,
you've never
Gemini?
lied in your life.
No.
It's thought you were talking to chat
Yeah.
that whole time. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Are we ready to go whenever, or should I wait a second?
Wait a second.
Sure.
So, chat, is game volume okay?
Oh yeah, it's like the music sound and everything is. I can adjust that as always as well. Still on ads.
Still on ads? Oof. Well, you could sub and not get ads. There's that. Seems good to you guys? Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, up next is going to be Hero versus Stork. I give it one more minute before we hop into this. Okay. And then we're going to have, our first mirror matchup that we've casted together.
Yeah.
Well, no,
today.
Today, because we did the
have
TVT last time. Yeah.
But yeah, so now we actually get the PvP. And I actually really liked the PvP from the Afrika show match as well.
Yeah.
Or Soup, I guess, if they're being called this now. But
Soup.
it was really interesting just to see how the Brood War players played StarCraft 2 PvP, because it's like wildly different from how Brood War PvP works. So it was really kind of wild. I'm curious what kind of stuff that Stork might be able to do here. He will be playing Brood War, and Hero will be playing SC2, so this will be a bit of a difficult match for him, I feel like, because Hero's just like the best StarCraft 2 Protoss at the moment.
Yeah. Stork, it's funny. I think he's not in the kind of shape that he was in before, but at the same time, he's always pretty good. Like he can always take a game off of somebody. So this will be a fun. Let's go ahead and get this game started up here, and go into the first PvP that Gemini and I have casted, and then see who's going to take this. Right now, the StarCraft 1 team is up. It's Team A here is in the lead for the time being here. With Kira taking that victory. It does seem like Terran Mech is still pretty scary, no matter what you're against.
I think it was definitely a bit of a, I guess the defense initially from the Vulture attack, making it so that you can't expand, and then not just having the correct follow-up from Snow was maybe what did him in there a little bit. I think it would have been much better if he had something mapped out slightly differently for his follow-up to the Oracles, because the Oracles did incredible damage. As a good old Dustin Browder.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a throwback
I didn't even do that on purpose. I just sort of realized I said. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Terrible damage was a funny meme back in the day. So this is Stork here in the bottom left. He's playing a StarCraft 1 Protoss. And he's going to be going up against a StarCraft 2 Protoss in Hero. So this is kind of a dream matchup, to be honest, because Stork is truly a god at PvP in StarCraft 1. I'd say that's still his best matchup today when we see him in ASL. And Hero is basically, he's the leader of the StarCraft 2 Protosses.
Yeah, he's definitely out of Korea for sure. Max Pax being the other outside the other side of the world.
But if you're going to get two Koreans together, you couldn't ask for a better matchup here.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited to see how this one pans out.
Interestingly enough already, Hero not actually walling off at the natural here, because adepts are not going to be a thing. The only reason you ever would wall off on the ramp here is because adepts can just shade in, and then you have to be able to block that. But not an issue with Brood War Protoss, so just going to be able to wall off over here.
Real quick here, guys, before we get into this game, I want to thank our sponsor at realms.world. If you could use the command in Twitch chat, !realms, click on their page. They've been doing some really interesting stuff, integrating blockchain into games, and they've been supporting us. We really appreciate it. We would not have the prize pool without them. And when you don't have a prize pool, it's very hard to get pro gamers to take time out of their day, especially to play a mod where there isn't much prize pool at all. This takes practice. This takes thought. So we appreciate them. So click the link, check them out, try their games out. Lots of love to them. And also add them on Twitter. Excuse me, it's loot.realms. Or loot realms, excuse me.
Yeah, super sick to have people being willing to send out some money for these awesome events, to be able to see this kind of resurgence of StarCraft and StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 and everything, honestly, in 2024. Years and years after it's been released. It's super cool.
So we're going to have I've never seen this in my... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a gateway down there. I thought it was like a three-gate
We're doing
adept.
a three-gate adept into a walled-off ramp.
Yeah, I was about to say, like...
But then we have to walk all the way back here to get in it.
Yeah, I looked at that. For a second, I decided that those minerals mined out were at the bottom. And I'm like, so three-gate adept, huh? I mean, I wonder how Dragoons fare against that. Anyways, so it's going to be a two-gate here for Hero with a proxied Stargate. Back at home, this is a very normal StarCraft 1 build, by the way. Dragoon Robo. It's sort of a catch-all build. So, it's good versus most stuff and stops pretty much everything. So there's not really a hard counter, at least in StarCraft 1 PvP. I don't know how this is going to pan out here for StarCraft 2. Keep in mind, Dragoons, they're like Stalkers. They can hit ground and air. They're not quite as fast. So I do wonder what happens if you get, like, the Oracle that's going to come in here, and you can basically play keep away.
Yeah, and the problem, though, is that Stork's not actually leaving any Dragoons in his main, I think. Only, not even that one is getting rallied here. So this Oracle, just like last game, is going to be able to do incredible damage here as it's getting right into the mineral line. Completely unaware. He's completely walled himself off as well, so the Adepts can't get in. But now he can't actually bring his Dragoons back. And I don't even think he realizes this is here because he's focusing so hard on this micro at his ramp when there are 16 probes getting killed off by a single proxy Oracle.
If he made one more and could do the same amount of damage, he would probably kill every other probe that's in the game. I don't know why he walled in there. That was very strange.
It's, I guess, for the Adepts. That's just what he thought.
Stork did play StarCraft 2 competitively. He was a great coach, so I almost feel like this is sort of a funny hybrid opener that actually sucks, but it's like the ideas are sort of there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he knows Adepts are a threat, but then Oracles are also a threat.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny, too, because he actually scouted the mined-out mineral, so he knew something was proxied on this side of the map, but he only sent his Zealot over here instead of actually finding the proxy over to the bottom side. Luckily, now the Dragoons are in position, so only 3 more probes going to get killed off, but there's still both Oracles alive. And if anything is to be known about PvP, if there's 2 Oracles, then, the game very easily could end at any point because not even shield batteries can defend against that.
I just feel like at this point in time, Stork is out of range of any kind of win. Now, in SC EVO, it does seem like the best unit by far is the Reaver, and you just get it faster than you would in traditional StarCraft 1. Look at this. He's got to ferry these out of here. This is rough. You do get the damage out and the Reaver out even faster in SC EVO because you have an additional set of workers. SC EVO, you both start out with StarCraft 2 numbers of workers. So he might come in here and kill off all these probes, but we need to see how much damage the Reaver push does. Also, remember that Reavers cost, the Scarabs, cost minerals.
Oh, true.
So, like, he has, what, 200 minerals? So that's a decent amount of Scarabs, but, right now there's going to be 1 probe in the base. 4 Dragoons coming up. Oh, I don't know, man. That's a lot of Stalkers.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit rough. Blink isn't quite done, so that's at least going for Stork here. But, I mean, there's even a Phoenix out right now to chase the shuttle indefinitely, so that's going to have to get worried about here as well for Stork. We'll target that down, luckily, so that will get killed off. But now the Reaver is still trying to get whatever it can, getting shots off whatever it can, but there's just only so much it can do. Even just dies right with the shuttle right there, so that's going to be it. Stork GG's out with 4 supply to his name.
GG. That's going to tie it up 1-1. And a pretty bad build order.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
I mean, yeah. The problem, though, is that if he had just left his Dragoons in the mineral line and just anticipated that Oracles could be coming, he actually would have been totally fine. Because Dragoons do pretty good against Oracles. You saw how much damage they were doing.
I do think that Dragoon Reaver is still one of the best things you can do in this mod. But I just think he wasn't actually factoring in the Oracle.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that seems to be our theme so far today with these games is that everybody forgot about Mr. Oracle.
Yeah. Back when Heart of the Swarm came out, there was a lot of complaints about that unit for quite a reason, and we're remembering why today.
Yes. So, we're going to be going into Game 3. We'll give it a couple minutes before we start here, but some pretty short games. A lot of one base, maybe someone gets a second base up. From what I've seen, because I've had the fortune to cast a couple RTS games early on and then see them develop, and it always seems like one base, two base play is the most powerful.
Yeah,
and then eventually everybody's like, no, we kind of know how to shut that down.
Yeah.
And that's when those people actually become cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, one base and two base play will always be a thing. It feels like we are seeing a little bit of, especially from Stork, kind of feeling through the dark.
Yeah.
As far as how to play this, some ideas that
sure.
turn out to, maybe they thought it sounded smart or looked smart, and then it turns out it wasn't. It just was actually a bad idea. Don't wall yourself in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Protoss players in StarCraft 2 and PvP will always just leave a probe right there to then immediately block off if the adepts come by. So Stork just thinking that, well, if I just wall it off completely, I won't have to worry about that at all. I'm so smart. And then he's like, wait, but oracles, sir. It was really sad because he actually got the... It's so rare that you actually get the scout that the minerals are mined out and that something's happening, and he just actually got the harder scout off, but then he just didn't follow through and actually look around the entire side of the map, which was definitely unlucky. So,
well, fortunately, we're tied up 1-1.
Sure.
Thank you for the subs, Ezra. I see you in the chat. Thank you again for sponsoring the event. We're going to have TY versus Hyun coming up next here.
Yep, a TVZ. It's going to be Hyun with Brood War and TY going for StarCraft 2.
This is another great matchup. Hyun is he actually had a good run in StarCraft 2 as well.
Yeah, he was great.
He was very good.
Yeah.
Hyun was one of my favorite players to be at a tournament with because he's so funny.
Yeah,
like I just
he
know
always
when we're,
just looked very
we're hanging
personable.
out. Yeah, whenever we're hanging, he's so funny. And so me and Artos would always be trying to run around and find where he's at so we could like poke him and make us laugh. So I'm really glad he came down here and participated. TY, I mean, this is kind of, I think you can't find anybody in StarCraft 2 who is legendary in as many ways as he has been.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably the best analytical caster for StarCraft 2.
He's really got it all, man. He won an IEM Katowice. He casts StarCraft 2. He qualifies for ASL and Brood War. I mean, this guy is just gifted when it comes to StarCraft.
Yeah, he's a superstar. I mean, there was periods where he was
super gamer.
He's some kind of mutant super gamer. I mean, there was periods where he's like playing in a GSL and winning it, and then also casting GSL, and then also qualifying for ASL and beating Jaedong. And I'm like, okay, dude, let's save some room for some of the other players. We're gonna start our game now. Again, TY with. Wait a minute, is TY StarCraft
2?
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the bracket here. Doop.
Yes, it is
So-
StarCraft 2 TY.
Okay, so StarCraft. Oh yeah, it is StarCraft 2 TY. Okay, sorry guys, I just got confused there. So we're gonna go into that game in a second here. And again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I saw those subs earlier. I appreciate all you guys. And again, Ezra, good to have you in the chat. This match should be a good one. Now, Hyun, I don't know how much he's played of SC EVO, so I'm curious if he's got some new ideas. We know that TY is actually probably the best SC EVO player for both races.
Yeah, he was just so good last time as well. I mean, he gets picked for the ace match for the last EVO, the Time Warp, and then also for the Afrika show match as well. I think they just kind of know that he is just so good at both races, or both games at least.
Right. Who's the co-caster? This is Gemini.
Hello.
How do they find you, Gemini?
I'm on Twitter, ggemini19, Twitch, Gemini SC2, and yeah, those are the main. YouTube also just Gemini19. I know I'm really great at marketing. I choose different names for every.
Follow Gemini on Rumble.
Different names for every single website I know. Yes, that's how it worked, unfortunately, but.
How do you find him? Protoss threads? Oh, that's pretty good. Well played, chat.
Nice. There it is.
So,
oh, sorry, I dead named Twitter. My bad. X. My bad.
I am starting to call it X, by the way.
I'm not at all.
I've kind of come around to it, but I don't call it posting. I call it tweeting.
No,
I'm still doing that.
I will never call it X. That's just impossible. It's just so strange. It literally it just sounds like not the type of website
It would have been
be.
a good website name like maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So we've got Hyun up here. This is StarCraft 1 Zerg.
Early pool.
Yeah, very early pool. And gas, so the best way to interpret what we're seeing here is this is basically like a 9 or 12 pool speed Zergling rush, I think. There are layer builds you can do. Okay, so he's going to go for Zergling speed. To be honest, I really like this from Hyun. I don't know what you can get away with doing this in StarCraft 2, but this is probably the best early build from StarCraft 1. Was the idea was you just get Ling speed right away, and then you start expanding. You have speed Zerglings. Normally, you would take drones off of the gas. Did Hyun do that? He did, right? Yeah, he did. Okay, he's got one in there. I guess you get so many workers in this version of the game.
Yeah, true.
You might as well keep some on there. But the idea is you just get the Ling speed tech because that way you can kill scouts. StarCraft 1 Zerglings, by the way, are better than StarCraft 2 Zerglings. They're actually extremely strong.
Yeah, and we're going to have a Reaper coming out here for TY to be able to deal with this. Obviously, something that you don't have to deal with when it comes to Brood War TVZ, or ZVT, I should say. Nice little nade pop over there to save the SCV! Whoa, shit, that's sick.
That was nice. That was really cool to see.
Will it matter? Will it end up mattering? That one SCV is going to give him so much more extra eco.
Well, Ling speed's about to finish 2 here. I think StarCraft 1 speed Zerglings can catch a Reaper, but I'm not totally sure.
God, these are fast.
Yeah, no, they're really scary, and they're just a little bit beefier.
Yeah, I mean, TY not really prepared for that at all. Didn't expect the extra flood, and that is, yeah, that's going to be a cancel.
That's pretty bad for TY, actually. And this is Hyun taking 3 bases.
I mean, this is such an early speed that this Reaper's also going to die. I mean, the speed in general, both StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1 is going to be able to catch a Reaper, so currently now TY just stuck inside of his base, making just Marines and a Hellion at a time. Gonna have to remake the command center entirely and float it down, while Hyun is just free to just macro up behind it. 3 bases going already into the Hydra Den as well, just in case.
God, I gotta say, man, seeing this build from Hyun kind of throws me back. I remember when the game was like just out, like Brood War just came out. I was playing on Battle.net. I remember seeing people go for the speed Zergling thing, and when I'd watch them take the drones off gas, I'm like, oh man, he's good. This is going to be a hard game. He knows this trick, and you could see it even works in StarCraft 2. What TY came in with was actually a StarCraft 2 mindset build, and I think he didn't appreciate how good the threats are on the board already for Hyun. He is teching into lurkers. Hellions, I'm also not clear on how good they are versus StarCraft 1 Zerglings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By the way, StarCraft 1 Hydras, if you're a StarCraft 2 person, you're watching this, you might be a little bit thrown off by how early they get on the map and how much damage they do. They are more brittle, but they pack a punch. And I think Hyun's going to come in here to try to flank this. No.
Or he's just going to try to get some reinforcements as they come out. Almost getting those 2 Hellions would have been really nice here, but we'll just be able to scout off that there is indeed still no natural landed, and we'll at least get these Hellions out of his face. It's going to sacrifice all the Lings for it, but at least Hyun knows that he can get this Lurker morph off in the middle of the map without having to worry about Hellions running by his natural. So he should be able to keep the tempo up and possibly get over into the natural with all of these, but the morph does take kind of a long time, I guess, so it's still going to give these Hellions ample time to get over here, and we'll actually scout the Lurkers. It's a huge scout because TY didn't actually know that Lurker tech was coming online just yet, so that's going to be pretty big here.
You know, the Hellions don't quite do that much damage to Lurkers. Lurkers are kind of hard to kill with certain damage types, and clearly the Hellions are going to suffer versus this. He's going to come in, and he goes right under the Liberator. So that Lurker's going to be a dud. A second scan comes down. You got to keep in mind that most of the time with StarCraft 1 Lurkers, you're kind of trying to sidestep the scans. Make them bait out a scan. Oh, what? It's just open?
Oh,
You didn't close the drawbridge?
He does have enough scans, so we will be able to kill it off. 6 drones getting killed off as well by a Liberator on the other side of the map. Still very good for TY here. It was actually really... Oh my god, all the Lings funneling into all the Hellions. Oh my god. Hyun actually committing to this. Wait, is he actually going to kill all these off?
Oh, welcome to StarCraft 1 Zerglings.
Okay. It was almost insane.
Artosis just woke up in a cold sweat in Canada right now.
Holy moly.
Somewhere StarCraft 1 Zerglings are doing more damage to Terran again. I felt it. I felt a disruption in the Force.
They didn't get the bunker on the bridge. I mean, it was still really good, though, for TY. I mean, he actually body blocked the Lurkers so well. There's a Hellion under here, the Liberator, that was blocking one of the Lurkers that actually made it so that the Liberator killed it off. So only one Lurker was able to get to the main base. So that was actually really well played by TY. And with that Liberator doing excellent damage, and another one also going to be forced, denying mining here at this natural. This is looking incredible for TY when at first it looked like it was going to be really, really bad.
Okay.
Oh, this one's still in here as well. Oh my god.
You know what? This whole story today is just about people discovering how good StarCraft 2 air harass is. It's just not like. This is funny too because like both these guys, I mean obviously TY, but Hyun was like a godlike player.
He made sunken colonies instead of spores.
Oh, that's one way to lose the game.
Oh my god.
He made wait, were those sunks always there?
Yeah, they were there at least.
Let's go back.
They were there at least for a good portion of time.
Because I can understand sunks earlier.
Nope, he accidentally did it after the Liberators were already there.
Wow. Yeah. So he went. That's
unlucky.
Because the StarCraft 1 spore colony, that's got range.
Yep.
That's got. Is it got range 8 or 9 or something?
I don't remember exactly.
It's crazy. So that puts us 1-2. Team B now taking the lead. Honestly, a really good start to that game. It kind of became a comical end, and that's kind of too bad. Where I guess he just like hit the wrong hotkey and wasn't able to recover. It does seem like the players are approaching the game in a way where they're more focused on what they can do to their opponent than what their opponent can do to them.
Yeah.
Which I don't fault because I guess that's probably a good way to try to learn and enforce strategies. But yeah, it's like everything Hyun was doing was working perfectly until it was TY's turn to get a unit out.
Yeah, it's really funny how they are kind of noticing just kind of what the broken things are here for each race. StarCraft 2 air harass, like you were saying, is kind of just bonkers if you don't know how to actually deal with it. Liberators are just so good at locking down a position. Oracles are just super oppressive. We'll be able to kill off workers so fast. So, I mean, they're the SC2 players. They're doing their homework here a little bit.
Yeah, I hope we get some more games from Hyun. I think that was some of the best StarCraft 1 Zerg we've seen versus StarCraft 2. I love going for the speed Zerglings there early on to kind of control the map.
Yep.
Up next, Saxer versus Stats. Saxer is going to be... I'll put the bracket up here 1 second, guys. Boop. So Saxer, if he wins here, that's going to be a 3-1 victory. Otherwise, we're going to go to the ace match. Stats is going to be on StarCraft 1 Protoss. Now, both these guys have a background in the race they're playing. I think everybody thinks of Saxer. They think ASL. They think StarCraft 1. Stats, I think you have to think StarCraft 2. But these guys are both god tier with the other races. This should be a fun one. Stats historically has played a conservative Protoss game, which I respect, but it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And we'll see if he does that this time around versus Saxer, who's going to be on StarCraft 2 Zerg.
Do you know or remember if Stats was also the same defensive style player when he played Brood War?
So
or?
I only casted Stats' games, if my memory serves me correctly, when we had like 64 or 128 person tournaments at GOM TV.
Right, okay.
When I was like 23 and had just moved out here. And I was like, every week I would just cast a bunch of solo games alone.
Yeah.
And I would blow my voice out. And people would be like, why does he sound like that? He only yelled for 5 hours by himself. Why does he sound so weird? I casted some of his games. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it looked like. I think he did have some long ones, but I don't know. This is going to be fun.
The only clip that I know of Stats in Brood War is he's got this famous one on his stream that plays that people can donate to get shown up is when he loses like 20 probes to a Widow Mine or a Spider Mine.
Yeah. Well, if our players are ready, we're going to be hopping into this game. And fingers crossed that Stats can win this. That would bring us to Game 5. And we're getting this loaded up right now. I got an odd, but the screen's kind of over here where we're at, so I start to like do this. Yeah. I start to like, my chair starts to turn as I got to kind of be camera ready here.
Yeah.
It's going to be on Golden Aura here for our SC EVO match. Again, guys, thank you for joining us. This is the second SC EVO match. It's been really fun to cast these. It's been really refreshing. I think no matter what kind of StarCraft fan you are, you could agree this is fun. This is interesting. This is different, and I can't believe we didn't think about this before. We've got Saxer in the top left, and we have stats here in the bottom right. By the way, we want to thank our sponsor, the Lords of Realms.world. Use the command Realms in the Twitch chat. Click on their link. Check them out. They are hiring developers right now. They're doing great stuff, integrating blockchain into games, and we would not have this prize pool without them. We're very grateful. We appreciate their support. And, you know, without prize pools like this, you can't draw in great players. So thanks again. Check them out, guys. They are supporting our scene. So we've got a gateway expand here for stats, and for Saxery, it's going to be hatchery first.
Yeah, nice little macro openers here. Maybe both players seeing all the other games ending with oracles and other shenanigans really early, being like, hey, maybe we should have a nice macro game here on our hands. Show everyone some cool Protoss versus Zerg when it comes to late game. And we did get that one really cool PvZ last time with Jaedong against, I think it was either Snow or Stork, which was really, really cool. It was like a really just kind of scrappy game with both players maybe not exactly knowing the best responses or the best transition timings and stuff, but it made for a really cool and interactive later game PvZ between the two different games. So maybe we'll get something like that here as well.
Yeah. Double gas here for stats. It's funny, stats really proved that you could do truly defensive, almost like macro Zerg style as Protoss and make it work. Now, I feel like you could do macro defensive style with StarCraft 1 Protoss even better in the SC EVO mod because you just get more workers. Fast expanding PvZ, I think, was one of the tougher builds to iron out because you, like, first of all, had to defend just with a building or two. You couldn't scout. You were having to figure out where you could cut corners, not to over-defend, to tech in the right way, to hide it. But I think when you have more workers because of this mod, I think it becomes a lot more comfortable. Because you get more workers and can tech faster, it seems like you actually can get Reavers out faster than, in some cases, the Zerg can get air. But I don't know that 100%. The timings are still a little bit fuzzy to me.
Oh, early Bane nest coming out from Saxer. So he's going to be trying to go for something a little cheeky here, as stats will be on the defensive in that regard. He looks like he's just going to be making a lot of Zealots and going for a fast Citadel, so he's going to be going for a quick Zealot leg upgrade.
This is like just going to lose to Banelings, right?
Surely.
It's like, well, now I can crash into the Banelings even faster.
Unless the Zealots from Brood War are actually just so Giga Chad and just got so much HP that they just soak everything and just walk right past them and just win anyway, because that would be the greatest thing ever.
I don't think we've seen a Baneling bust at SC EVO.
No.
From my cast.
We saw the Roach Ravager bust from Solar last time, but not Banelings. Look at him actually even being kind of prepared for this, too. Look at that. He has no idea it's coming, but he's just assuming that it could be
He's got a volleyball formation with the Zealots over here.
I mean, we got a lot of Lings coming out, man. This is going to be a lot of Banelings. Surely this many Zealots
is this just going to
are
end?
Not enough. Are we really just showing... Is this just a highlight series of all of the most broken, insane things in StarCraft 2?
Now, hold on. These are StarCraft 2 Zerglings for StarCraft 1 Zealots. I think the StarCraft 1 Zealots are a little bit beefier.
Yeah.
I feel like all the Tier 1 StarCraft 1 stuff is maybe a little bit beefier.
We've got 3 cannons.
Okay.
Well, let's see it.
Oh, he kind of messed up. The Banelings, shouldn't they just be in the front?
Yeah, they should be. So
you
this
can
is
target
actually...
the Banelings with the cannons.
Yep. Oh my
Plug
god.
it up!
Dude, so many Banelings got wasted trying to kill that one Zealot. This is actually going terribly. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Yo, he lost one Zealot.
Was
2. Okay, 2
pretty
Zealots.
Bad.
So he's going to have another wave.
We had Banelings moshing at the entrance.
Oh my god. That was so bad.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen. I want to take that Men in Black device where we erase the memory. I'm just going to tell you guys that was a good game, and we're going to move on. Because that...
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Here we go again. Banelings stuck in the front.
I mean, he's not target firing with the Banelings is the problem. He's not just letting them go first and kill off the Zealots, and that's just going to be a... That's just not going to work. I mean, now we have Zealot speed. We've got a bunch of Zealots actually out. We have got Templar Archives finished.
Oh my god, look at the Citadel. Go back to the Citadel. Zoom in on that. What is that?
Oh my god. I mean, that is the shape of what a
I
Citadel
guess that
is.
is, yeah.
That is definitely.
I've
but
only
like
seen it as a 2D image.
Yeah, the white, the blue textures on it make it look a little funky for sure. Oh my god, look how fast these zealots are, man.
Yeah.
Look at them running with their arms like tucked into their
Yeah.
sides like that. It looks so funny. Look at those things go.
Yeah, look at their little arms.
Why does that look so funny? Oh my god.
I think it's because their arms don't move, but their legs do.
Yeah.
They kind of run like little raptors.
Yeah, with the long.
Here's
the
the
long,
thing.
The
The
long
zealots
curved
know how to
boards as
open
well.
doors, too.
Oh god, he's gonna get right on top of these banelings before they're even finished. Well, they're gonna explode anyways, but like we said, these are some Giga Chad zealots. They are gonna just not take any damage to these units. And this is looking pretty bad for Saxer here, who we thought was gonna be able to just kind of roll through the defenses when it was just 3 zealots, but flubbing with the actual focus fire of the Banes, and that's gonna be a GG. We are tying it up yet again. God, we just get ace matches nonstop in these events, man.
That's crazy. So, putting up the bracket here. Oh, wait, let me get the bracket. Yeah, we do. That's right. It's tied up 2-2. So each team is going to pick an ace player, and we're going to go to that match. If you're joining us just now, basically we have each team play each other in a best of 5, and whoever wins the best of 5 becomes they get the first point on the board. So big picture, it's a best of 3. One side's playing StarCraft 2 units, all on one team. The other side's playing StarCraft 1. When we go to the second best of 5, we switch that. So then all the StarCraft 1 players are playing StarCraft 2. All the StarCraft 2 players are playing StarCraft 1. When we make the teams, we pick 2 players primarily known from StarCraft 1 and 2 players primarily known from StarCraft 2.
Yep.
So that's how we make it as even as we can. This is not like a GSL or an old, OSL or something where we can figure out the purest way to make the competition fair.
Yeah,
because
we're not looking at illegal act ratings and comparing it to the ASL rankings and figuring out how that matches.
The idea is that you force both players. Sorry, you force a player to play both races, and they do their best, and then at the end here, if we do get tied up 1-1, we have an ace match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both teams will again just keep the same game, where they will, whatever game the team was playing with, be it Brood War or StarCraft 2, they will keep that, but they just pick the player that will be able to come out on the ace. After both best of 5s, if it ends up being tied where one team wins the first best of 5, one team wins the second, then the final super ace match will be each player being played for a best of 3.
Right. They
one
each
player
pick an ace
each.
player. StarCraft 1 in one game for a player, and then StarCraft 2 for him in the next game, and then a coin flip.
Yeah, and then we coin flip
see.
which race gets picked off for
Right.
for the last one. So it's not like it'll be 3 different players playing in the ultimate ace match or whatever
Right.
we're calling it, the super ace match, the giga ace match.
The Giga Ace match is
There
what
we
we're
go.
calling that. That's the technical term. So in a little bit here, it looks like Hero has been picked here. I'm just going to pull this graphic up here again. So Hero has been picked to represent the best coming from the StarCraft 2 boys. And we're still waiting for Team A, comprised of Kure, Hyun, and Kure, Stor, Hyun, and Stats, to see who they're going to be picking here. Obviously, Hero's going to be playing Protoss, StarCraft 2 Protoss.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Kure for the Brood
Kure.
War Brood War Terran. Was gonna be
Yeah.
picked. Nice.
Kure rapidly becoming someone who appears to be the best, one of the best SC EVO players for sure, along with TY, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was doing great so far. I mean, defending that initial Oracle harass in the first game that he played, and then being able to win it out in a macro game was pretty impressive, considering he lost like 15 SCVs or something like that.
So when the players are ready, we'll hop into this game. We're just getting confirmation of that. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Check out my merch shop, tastelessthreads.com. We got this new nuke shirt up here from the StarCraft 1 symbol. And a bunch of other esports, RTS, or tasteless-related memorabilia, merch, and stuff is on there. Special thanks to realms.world, the lords over there, for supporting our SC EVO tournament. They are providing us with the prize pool and making this possible. So we love them. We appreciate them. They are looking to hire developers, and I think I saw in the chat they're also looking to work with other publishers down the road, or other developers and publishers down the road as they integrate blockchain into games, which is coming for every game down the road. We're going to go into our match now. Hero versus Cure.
Top left is going to be Hero playing as the StarCraft 2 Protoss. And on the bottom right side is going to be Cure playing Brood War Terran. Fighting Spirit being played again as the ace match because Fighting Spirit is just a cool map and it's the Brood War map, so we're bringing it in twice.
It's a Brood War map, and I feel like it's a map where you can get almost any kind of game, at least in StarCraft 1. It's a great map to kind of show people how to play. Like, if you've got a StarCraft 2 player and you got to put them in a StarCraft 1 map, I think Fighting Spirit's a good way to go.
Yeah, it's just such a classic map. Everyone knows it as well. Even if you're not someone that really played a ton of Brood War, like myself, I was not like ultra invested in the Brood War scene or anything, but I know what Fighting Spirit is. I understand the legacy it has in the game and whatnot.
And so, going into this game now, Cure here in the bottom right did go for just kind of 2 factory mech. I don't know if we're going to see him go for any kind of like mech expand. We have had Oracle rushes in this matchup already. I don't see why you wouldn't do it. Honestly, the more I look at it, the more I feel like you even want to go for a Void Ray.
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Look at where this little probie's going. He's going to put it right in the middle of the 2 bases. He's scouted the top, goes straight down to the middle, and then he's going to scout one of these 2 sides. And then it doesn't really matter which side he's on because it's still in the same exact location.
If you look on the mini map, the scouting path, you can see it's shaped just like the Citadel in StarCraft 2. But yeah, the idea is you've confirmed that they're not at the top right. So
how did you think of that?
That's what I saw when I looked at it. That's my Rorschach test of the mini map scout.
God.
So yeah, the idea is you scout the top right, and then when you see they're not there, it doesn't matter which side they're on. Oh,
he's gonna scout it. Oh, Cure. He realized.
Cure,
he learned.
go down.
He learned.
He knows.
Oh. Uh-oh. What's Hero going to do? So the thing here is, though, is that this is Hero playing StarCraft 2. This is not, what was it, Snow playing StarCraft 2 last time. Hero can know how to pivot. He can know how to react and be able to, like, okay, I know what to do now that it's been scouted, or I can follow up in a more efficient way. Snow, of course, being a Brood War player, not as familiar with all those different intricacies of how StarCraft 2 works. So I'm curious now to see what Hero decides to do with this interaction when, he's just a master, essentially, of going for this type of style in StarCraft 2.
So the Oracle's going to come up, and, I thought he was going to go into the main, but I see the Oracle rally to the front. Can you bust a StarCraft 1 bunker with an Oracle?
Surely not.
I don't think so, right?
Oh, Suicide of the Adept is not great. That had to have been an accidental move right there. I think he just didn't get the cancel off in time, because that's definitely not what you want right there. So the Marines are all kind of positioned at the ramp. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, the bunker's empty.
You can't lower depots. He should just go into the main. He literally... Oh, he can just lift the barracks. Holy crap.
You know what's funny? I literally did the same thing. I'm like, you're right. You're right. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Okay, 6 kills.
That's so funny, dude. I looked at the depots, too. I'm like, my God, he can't lower those. It's a good thing Terran can lift their buildings in both of the StarCrafts, too.
Thank God that wasn't an eBay, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I only know how to see things from a Protoss perspective from StarCraft 2.
Oh, man. Well, still 6 SCVs dying. Nexus is going to just be finishing for Hero, so Blink follow-up as well. I think this is still not too bad for Hero, but it's not really what he wanted. I think he wanted something much better. I'm surprised he didn't send the Adept and Zealot into the natural while the Oracle was in the main, because that also would have gotten a free at least like 2 or 3 SCV kills before Kira reacted.
Are we zoomed in more? Is the Goliath really that big in this mod?
It is just large.
Look how big it is.
Where is it? There he is.
Down there.
Damn, that's a thick boy.
That's a thick Goliath, man. Okay, so he's got the 2 Goliaths here basically to stop like an Oracle. Like, we might literally see it in a second here.
Yeah.
Only 1 Oracle's made. I think it's probably smart.
Yeah, after having it getting scouted so quickly, I think it's definitely a smart play to just pivot off of the tech and just go straight into something else, which is what Hero's done. Doesn't want to overcommit to it when he knows that it should be pretty well defended.
As the game goes on, We're getting to a macro phase here for both sides. Third factory coming down here. You know, after a little while when you're meching as Terran, there's a point in time where, like, I think stuff that StarCraft 2 Protoss could throw at you, it's not going to matter. It's not going to actually do anything. What I'm most curious about in PvT with these, for the StarCraft 2 Protoss and the StarCraft 1 Terran, is, does StarCraft 2 Protoss actually have a way to fight Terran mech? I think the Terran mech from StarCraft 1, when you have enough of it, might be the best thing in the StarCrafts.
With the correct upgrades as well and everything.
Yeah.
Well, Oracle coming in as well to help with this Adept. We'll be able to kind of alley-oop a few of those SCVs. Not bad. But, no, I agree with you. I feel like also I'm curious what Immortals do against Brood War mech, because they're just obviously so good against StarCraft 2 mech that I want to know. Tanks are crazy, obviously, but, like, can Immortals actually kind of stand up in an even supply or even resource count
like
fight?
Can't you just go double Robo Immortal? Wouldn't that be pretty good?
It would definitely be better than what Protoss and StarCraft 1 can do, I feel like, in the early stages. I'm also curious how Disruptors play, because the tank range for the Brood War tanks is going to be larger, so there's not even that little bit of wiggle room that you can do with Disruptors versus tanks, and like you can in StarCraft 2, where you can sometimes outrange them with the splash damage. So Disruptors, I feel like, also might not actually be that good, but, I mean, you still don't have Disruptors in Brood War, so you don't have to worry about that kind of splash damage unit. Because Reavers, you don't get Reavers against mech, right?
No, you do,
okay.
but you're not making them necessarily en masse. You kind of use them with the Dragoons. The idea is you want to force the Terran to siege up, and when they're sieging up, you can hit them with Reavers, and if they are sieged up, then you don't attack them. So you're trying to exploit the fact that it's not easy to be fluid on the map.
Yeah.
And so they have to kind of tiptoe around the map before they can get close to you. So the Vultures come up here. They're going to spot the space. A lot of Spider Mines going to be planted over here. And is there an Observer here? Am I seeing this?
It's on the right side. Oh, Blink dodges.
Oh, okay. I almost had to do a double take. Thank you for the raid, State. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome, viewers. This is the SC EVO Tasteless Time Warp Show match, sponsored by Realms World.
Does now have the Observer in position, but one mine didn't actually get cleared off, but will get killed off before. So the damage from enough Stalkers will be able to actually kill those mines before they connect. Good information to have right there. So yeah, I mean, Kira's going to continue just to turtle up, getting as much mech as possible. This is just kind of how Brood War Terran works. You know, this is not just an Artosis thing where he just sits on two bases forever.
That's
It's actually kind of something that you do. So, you know, don't scream at Kira for not expanding to a third just yet. This is totally fine.
No, this is like, that's 7 factories, I think. There's actually a guide flashed it on this. Maybe it's 8, actually. I couldn't quite count.
8, yeah.
Yeah, 8 factories. So this is a build where you basically sit and you probably get to maybe 150, 160 supply, and then you just move out. And you basically have this battering ram that's going to plow through anything they've got, and you're going to try to kill them in one fell swoop.
Yeah, I'm really curious how this fight is gonna work, because also charge exists in StarCraft 2 compared to just Zealot legs. So technically, shouldn't mine drags be easier in this, because the Zealots will just get on top of all the other units really fast?
But if there are mines, they might just target the mines when they pop up.
Also true.
You can actually kill a mine when it pops up in StarCraft 1. You can do it in this mod too.
If you target the units behind where the mines would be, then the Zealots will just charge past them, though. This is also something you can try out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I don't actually know, to be honest.
Oh, huge Zealot warping in the main base here, right as Kira's moving out. So excellent just jump on this whole situation by Hero, having an Observer outside the natural here, but now the whole army is going to get sent off over into this natural. Will this be able to break Hero?
Okay, so this is that StarCraft 1 mech army. And, I mean, he's beginning to inch in. Oh, dude, this is a lot. Hold up. The Vultures are going to kite back. There's a lot of Zealots coming forward here. Whoa, the Immortals are going to come in here. They're going to start to target those tanks. A drop here in the back. It looks like he might be able to break this just barely. If the tanks go down, everything else is going to fall.
Yeah, the tanks are the critical thing to be able to take out here by Hero, so he does just that, leaving only the Vultures and Goliaths. A couple tanks coming on the rally here, but this looks like it's definitely going to be enough for Hero to be able to continue to snowball this fight, even picking up some of those Zealots, keeping them alive until the last second here. Excellently done. A Stasis even getting put down by the Oracle, not an Arbiter. and we'll be able to get up some of those tanks as well. So that is going to be nice to really, really just kill this push off, not
Dude,
allowing any momentum.
I've got so much. I'm so many nerd chills right now. This is so cool to see. It's like an actual straight-up StarCraft 2 versus StarCraft 1 PvT. This is insane to me.
Yeah.
The charge lots, man, they're really doing some damage to those tanks. The blink in here, too, for the punish. Whenever you watch a StarCraft 1 mech army, you just want to watch the tanks. If the tanks fall, you just don't have much to defend. Even a couple tanks can hold off quite a bit. He might want to land this barracks up here in the front. The Immortals are going to come down here as well. Is he going to break in? That's going to be it. GG.
Excellently done by Hero. I mean, I thought that there weren't quite enough Immortals in that fight to actually be able to break it, but with the spread, it was actually enough. The fact that Fighting Spirit is such an open map in that spot actually really favors Protoss in this in StarCraft 2 because of the way pathing works and everything. You can so easily spread yourself out in a huge concave, whereas in Brood War it might be a little bit more difficult. The map, kind of just how it works, is that it feels a little bit more constricted. So I mean, that was just great. The Immortals not really being super in like high in mass or whatever, but the Zealots being able to spread out and everything, really well done.
It's interesting. You don't have to go for a 2-base push. Normally, and that map was Fighting Spirit, but Fighting Spirit or not, you do want to try to get a 3rd base generally. That's like the correct way to play. We do have 2-base all-ins, and I don't really fault Cure for trying it, but on Fighting Spirit, there's no obvious base that you can push. That's the problem with the 2-base timing.
Right.
All the bases are kind of safe. Like in a lot of StarCraft 2 maps, there's sort of this, depending on the matchup, there's like this 4th base that one of the race takes. It's kind of like, well, that's the target.
Yeah, it's like it's more forward than anything else.
Right.
Fighting Spirit has them all kind of segmented on the edges of the map, up ramps as well. So yeah, like you're saying, it is really hard to actually push just an anchor point and then snowball that into the rest of the bases.
And a lot of times that push just becomes the main because there's no other obvious place to go, which is not bad, but the pushing towards, well, I guess I shouldn't say the main, the natural, which is what the main is connected to, because if you kill that off, they can't get out of their main, at least not easily. I mean, they can warp stuff in, but it just becomes a little bit harder. So interesting to see that play out. And so that's I'm going to the graphic up here. So, guys, that means that Team B is going to be taking the lead here. They did win that 3-2. So the team on the right side over here, that's Snow, Hero. No, what am I talking about?
Yeah, Hero.
No,
one.
I'm right. Okay,
Hero
sorry, Hero 1. Sorry, Snow, Hero, TY, and Saxery did take that. And that's going to bring us to our second best of 5. So the second best of 5 is going to be where each of these two teams, the StarCraft 2 team is now playing StarCraft 1, the StarCraft 1 team is now playing StarCraft 2. If we're lucky enough to have that tied up 1-1, we will go on to the ace match.
The Giga Ace match.
The Giga Ace match. And that's really exciting. Guys, we want to thank our sponsors at Realms World. You can use the command Realms in the chat. They are sporting our show match here, the Tasteless Time Warp 2. They're also hiring developers and working with publishers. They are working in integrating blockchain into gaming. So we appreciate their love and their support. Thank you again, guys, so much. And we're through with our first part here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really good. The fact that we also get another ace match just to see as many games as possible is really great. Seeing the actual interaction of the StarCraft 2 Protoss versus Brood War mech was really cool. Being able to see that, yes, if you just get a nice flanking surround, even without a crazy amount of mortals, having a lot of charge lots to be able to dip in and out and actually flank everything ends up being enough to defend. So just really cool interactions. Obviously, then also seeing the Oracles being extremely busted, just like they were many years ago, was also very nice to see.
It's funny that you see the same painful parts of learning a matchup happen again with SC EVO. Like, people just aren't quite ready for Oracles. They're not quite ready for Liberators when they come.
Yeah.
And it's made for some funny, interesting moments. A little bit of a shorter series than I thought. We really only had one proper late game PvT, and that late game was the last one we just saw, and it was really just Terran trying to do a 2-base timing. So not even as late as it could have gone.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have another best of 5 coming up. We're gonna take a little break, I think, between them.
Yeah, we're going to take a short break, somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes, maybe slightly longer. I think I got to feed you.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll give you some
I'm
food.
doing pretty decent, all right.
I
But
don't know how many calories you're burning, both casting and observing and inviting the players.
Yeah, man.
Guys, we're going to leave this graphic up with the brackets. We'll be back in a little bit. Don't go away. The Tasteless Time Warp show match number 2 will continue on in just a little bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We had a little snack break. We've gone to the bathroom. We've gotten water. We got our water ready. We hope you've done the same.
Drink water, chat. Stretch.
Drink water.
Stand up.
That's right. Don't sit in your chair for too long. Did I eat chili? No, but I've got plenty of chili in the fridge. Not today. I'm eating the same stuff whenever I stream. I have my girlfriend making me a bunch of meal prep stuff, so
Okay.
my chat knows I do nothing but eat mappa tofu and chili every day when I'm playing games. So I'm going to pull up the graphic real quick here, guys. I know that it was on screen earlier, but just to break this down. Over on match 1, our SC2 team has won, or I should say Team B has won. So Hero clutches through with that ace match on Fighting Spirit versus Cure. He does win. We're going to be going to match 2 best of 5. Now, this is either going to be the end, and it'll be a 2-0 with Team B winning, or it's going to be Team A making a comeback, tying this up 1-1, and then we really get the dream, because then we get the ace match for the final decider match, which is a smaller best of 3, where each team selects what they think is going to be their most viable player in both of the StarCrafts here for StarCraft EVO to duke it out. So all the players that were playing StarCraft 2 earlier now have to switch into StarCraft 1. So our first match to start this off is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg, Hyun versus Saxer. Hyun on the StarCraft 2 Zerg, and Saxer on StarCraft 1 Zerg.
Yeah, and I feel like overall, I feel like Hyun definitely had a more successful StarCraft 2 career than Saxer. Am I right about that? I feel like that's correct, right? He was mostly just like a pro league player, Saxer, right?
I think he was in a couple MLGs and some international events, but he was like good, but you know, there's like a certain number of players that kind of move to the front of people's minds.
Yeah, yeah.
And with all due respect to him, I felt like he was not one of those guys in StarCraft 2. So as someone who was casting like most all the tournaments back then, he was definitely there, and he was very good, and he did have some deep runs. But I think Hyun made more of an impact on StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I think I would say so.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup here. It is a mirror matchup. So ZVZ, StarCraft 1 Zerg versus StarCraft 2 Zerg. This has maybe been one of the most polarizing matchups in SC EVO. One race gets Banelings, the other race does not. It's a pretty big deal when you just look at how ZVZ works out. Traditionally, in StarCraft 1 ZVZ, this is the most inhibited matchup in StarCraft. You really can't tech out of Zerglings, Mutas, or Scourge.
Yeah.
And then obviously you get Overlords. But I don't know what this matchup looks like if you get into a long game in StarCraft 2. SC1 ZVZ, it's basically that the Ling and the Muta and the Scourge are so powerful, the player who would tech out of that would always lose. To the point where you can watch ZVZs for pretty much the last 25 years, you'll never see a Hydralisk.
Yeah.
It just won't happen. A Lurker, I mean, you make a wish. That's a shooting star. Okay? So, I don't know what StarCraft 1 ZVZ can do versus StarCraft 2 ZVZ, but the first thing I think we got to look at is the Baneling. How is that dealt with? And I think also the fact that StarCraft 1 Zerglings are basically better than StarCraft 2 Zerglings.
Yeah, I would say. I wonder if we're just kind of like an insta wall off or something out of Saxer in this to just prevent the Banelings, but then obviously then you can have Hyun knowing that and then just Giga expanding behind it and just have a million drones, and then it ends up being really difficult. So, yeah, no, I'm just kind of curious to see what the actual game plan is to counter just the fact that Banelings exist, and that StarCraft 2 Zerg is pretty impressive for sure.
100%. We could start the game whenever the players are ready, Gemini. Where can people find you, Gemini, by the way, on Twitch?
Twitch is Gemini SC2. Twitter is Gemini19. There's 2 G's there because just regular Gemini 19 was taken, and that's how eventually people then called me GG E-Mini.
GG E-Mini when our Artosis. We got to see how his brain processes words.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into our first map. This is going to be back on Fighting Spirits. Mirror matchup here. Saxer versus Hyun. We've got Saxer down here in the bottom right as a StarCraft 1 Zerg. Hyun in the bottom left as a StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2, excuse me, Zerg here. So both players sharing the bottom. Guys, this tournament is proudly brought to you by the Lords of the Realm.world. That's the leading decentralized autonomous organization experimenting with the marriage of blockchain and gaming. They provided us with the prize pool. We love them for that. Thank you so much. Use the command Realms. Check out their site. Give them some love. They are making events like this possible because the pros, they got to duke it out for a little bit of cash.
A little bit of dough.
A little bit of dough. A little bit of mun-mun. So, we've got pool first here from Saxer. You don't have anything yet for Hyun. And it's going to be a hatchery first, which I got to say, I'm sorry, hatchery after pool is what I meant to say.
No, it's hatch first for
okay.
Hyun. Yep.
I actually was looking at Saxery, but I
sorry.
should have just said you're right. Yeah, Hyun did to go hatch first. I could have recovered from that and looked smart.
Yeah, I'm curious if this is actually going to do anything, because obviously the lings are going to be out way in advance in terms of just in general how you can actually get them out on the map. Also, the scouting... Oh, never mind. The scouting's not going to be an issue, because the Overlord will just see that they are indeed both on the bottom side of the map.
StarCraft 1 Zerg does have, like, boxing gloves on.
Yeah, wow, you're right.
He does have little...
Yeah.
Well, he has little tiny gloves.
Yeah, he's got
little gauntlets on.
Yeah, he's got... they look more like crab claws, almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
But these guys, yeah, oh my god, these guys are ready to just bust your face off. Oh my god.
So, both sides, well, hold on. We have, was that 6? Yeah, 6 lings coming across the map.
2 are going to be out here for Hyun, going into the Baneling Nest as well. I mean, he's not going to have enough lings here to be able to initially, yeah, I was going to say, deny this hatch from even being canceled. So that's going to be at least a win there for Saxer, but I don't think much else is going to be able to get done here because there will be a few lings. There will be a queen coming out soon as well. You might get one drone if he's lucky with the micro, and actually will be able to get that. So not too bad. Gets a couple lings as well. So Saxer is actually doing pretty good with this opening right now, but the Baneling Nest is still going to be coming finished here, and it was actually scouted. So Saxer will know that he's going to be playing against Banelings, going straight into a lair and straight into a couple of creep colonies to get some Sunkens out.
So, look, I mean, the hatchery survives. That's the most important thing. When you see pressure builds like that, the idea is you want to pop the hatchery. The queen's going to come down here. This is another feature in StarCraft, SC EVO, ZVZ, is that the queen is very, very healthy as far as defending a base and kind of getting the larva out. StarCraft 1, Zergs, their larva comes out a little bit more quickly, and it's a little bit easier for them to just throw down macro hatches. But yeah, this is, at this point in time, just kind of developing into a standard ZVZ. No Baneling bust that won the game. No crazy Ling all-ins pre-Banelings that ended it. So we're getting into, I guess, mid-game here ZVZ. Part of the reason why I was talking so much about this being very short is I was worried it might just end and we would have to, instead of doing play-by-play, just kind of explain, okay, well, this might be just too hard to stop. But instead, we're here now.
Yeah. The Banelings are going to be used defensively at this point to make sure that the hatch can actually stay alive, which is great for Saxer because they're not actually doing anything on the other side of the map. So that's going to just allow him to go straight into a Spire. Of course, it will get scouted because the other thing about Brood War Zerg is that you have no anti-air, essentially, in ZVZ because you're not going Hydras. You're not going to just make a random Spore to kill off an Overlord. So the Overlord will be able to see absolutely everything that's happening. We'll know exactly when all this is coming online. But the problem for Hyun is that you're just going to have a bunch of just queens and spores to be able to deal with this. And is this a situation where, even though it gets scouted, is it just too hard to actually defend a giant snowballing ball of mutas?
That is going to be the question. I don't know. Which one's better? Is a StarCraft 1 Mutalisk better than a StarCraft 2 Mutalisk? I'm actually not sure.
I mean, most of the power of a Brood War Mutalisk comes from the micro, isn't it? And you can't do that in this?
That's correct. Well, hold on a sec. We are going to have a big Baneling bust. Okay, hold on.
All right. Well, it's delayed.
Yeah,
he was going to do it, maybe, but then he was like, okay, I'll just do it anyway later on. Sure, why not?
So the spacing of the Sunks is going to be big. You can use Sunks to target the Banes.
True.
Now, I don't know if that's what we're going to have here from Saxer, but...
Well, they come rolling on in. We'll be able to get on top of these sunken colonies, and we'll just kill them off pretty easily. There are a couple more shots getting hit with the last one there. The Banelings coming in. Not too much yet. Oh my god. Took forever to get that actual hit off, but 6 drones will get killed off. I don't feel like that's enough because there wasn't a big swell of lings coming up after that either. And so now the mutas are here. There's not very many just yet, but any other Baneling attacks will allow the mutas will then be able to target them off on the actual attack. So this is looking pretty decent for Saxer, I feel like.
Yeah, I got to say a pretty good hold. The mutas can now go for the overlords. I think if you watch a lot of StarCraft 1, you'd be thinking, why don't you go for the main? Why don't you kill the drones? Well, there's queens there. There's an organic anti-air always there. And so he does kill off the overlords. That's going to darken the map up. That makes it a lot harder to really know what's going on. There's also a ling counterattack in the natural, or moving through the natural now up into the main. Oh,
this is big. This is very, very big. We did not make a lot of extra lings after those initial ones died as Saxer, so that's actually going to mean Spire getting taken out here, and possibly even the lair. If these mutas can't get back in time, they're actually kind of slow compared to StarCraft 2 mutas, it feels like. And so this is going to get really close, but I think he just got back in time. We'll be able to save this just barely with about 300 hit points left. That would have been an absolute disaster if that got picked off.
That's one of those moments I really didn't know. Like, can these mutas get back here in time?
Yeah.
You're right, they do feel a little bit slower, at least compared to StarCraft 2 mutas. But I think that's probably the actual speed they move at in StarCraft 1. They've done a pretty good job in the modding of this to kind of keep it true to the unit itself.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, something else, the way that this works is that spores do extra versus bio because of the fact that Universe Muta was so volatile earlier on in StarCraft 2's history. So they're actually still going to be pretty decent against these mutas as well. I mean, there's just not much else on the ground, though, to actually fight them besides the spores, because the queens are now getting a bit picked off here. But if the spores, actually, it's not going to matter too much here, because these lings are just going to be able to kill this natural as well. I feel like Saxer is still just going to be able to just turn this on Hyun.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm really appreciating the power of the StarCraft 1 Zerg here. I think in my mind, as far as, like, theory crafting goes, I just thought there's no way StarCraft 2 Zerg could beat StarCraft 1 Zerg, but or could lose to it, excuse me, and here we are. The lings are going to spill through here. I think this is actually game because the queen's going to go down, the drones are not going to be able to protect the spores, and there's no other tech to counter the mutas. So once spores go down, that's going to be it. GG, Hyun taps out, and Saxer takes game number 1 in the second best of 5.
Yeah, I think that was just a really good choice of opener from Saxer there to just put the pressure on Hyun first. And I think maybe it was a bit, I don't know, I don't think greedy is the right word, but just I think that Hyun should have leaned into the whole Baneling thing a little bit harder. Because going for hatch first, yeah, it's a 4-player map and all, and, you know, it's the safe thing to do, kind of. Like, it's the overall just general build you do, but, I mean, you have Banelings against a player that doesn't in the same matchup. Surely that just means you can just rush for that and just end it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there's a reason why whenever you have like a new RTS, or in this case a new SC2 mod, you tend to see rushes not only happen more, but pay off more, because people haven't really figured out all the nuances to both developing and not dying. And that includes even things like over-defending. You can have somebody who doesn't die to a rush, but they've invested too much in actually defending, and they're behind in another way. So I would have liked to have seen Hyun do that. I feel like as SC EVO goes on and on, I want to see more hardcore Baneling bust basically labbed out so that you can really know the ins and outs of ZVZ in that matchup.
Yeah,
you know,
just so we can really explore just how broken that unit is in all of StarCraft's universe.
Or maybe it's not as good as we think. I mean, that's another thing. A lot of times, and I've been guilty of this too, is I see it's a patch or a new expansion come out or a mod, and I will assume, along with a lot of people, that this means X when it really means Y.
Yeah.
So it's why, as I've been casting for longer and longer, like in StarCraft 2, when there's a patch, I tend to not focus on it too much when I'm casting, just because let's actually let the game pan out, and then maybe we can talk about it afterwards. But interesting to see that ZVZ, StarCraft 1 Zerg wins.
Yeah, and not the result we expected here, but nonetheless, will be what happens. Stats versus TY is going to be our next matchup here. It's going to be Stats doing SC2, TY back on Brood War here. So getting the reverse of what we just had the other time. So I'm curious here if we're going to be having... Actually, no, it's the same. It was going to be Brood War Terran again. So we'll see another potential example of the StarCraft 2 Protoss versus Brood War Mech and seeing if this can maybe do something a little different this time.
For those of you guys watching on Twitch, be sure to follow. If you're watching on another platform, be sure to follow me there as well. This has been a lot of fun putting these events together. And, yeah, I mean, expect more exciting stuff in the future on this channel. And are our players ready to go?
We're waiting on
Okay,
them, and
Stats
they
is
are
ready. So we're going to be going into Game 2 right now. Stats here versus TY, 2 StarCraft, 2 Legends. In this case, one of them going to be on StarCraft 1. So let me put the bracket up here just real quick here. So it's going to be Stats here playing SC2, TY playing SC1. Remember that Saxer won, so Team B right now in the lead here after already being 1-0. So they're ahead in the first. They won the first best of 5. They're ahead in the second now. So a really important moment here.
Great. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking which team was which. I always forget which team or which player all these teams are on.
I know. I do the same thing.
To get the score lines and everything. I'm just like, which one? And then TY's on a barcode as well, which is like, wait a minute, who's playing right now?
He's on his try-hard barcode.
Anyways, all right. Stats is going to be on the top right. Again, playing as the StarCraft 2 Protoss. And then we got TY as the Brood War Terran on the bottom left-hand side here of Alcyone. I'm watching Alcyone, the new Star Wars show, and I just... Oh.
Is it bad?
I think it's not bad. I think it's okay.
Is it okay?
People keep raging about it, but that's Star Wars fans.
I see people upset about it.
Star Wars fans will just be mad about anything because that's just what they do. They're like Brood War Terrans.
They are.
StarCraft fans, Star Wars people are really
Star Wars movies are the hardest movies to play.
They're the hardest movies to watch, to consume, and enjoy. Yeah. Star Wars fans really are the Brood War Terrans of the movie community, isn't there?
So in this game, Stats in the top right, TY in the bottom left. TY has done some very cool stuff with the StarCraft 1 Terran race that I think has been a little bit more inventive than some of the other StarCraft 1 Terran play we've had. It does seem like a lot of the StarCraft 1 Terrans have, in SC EVO, have basically gone for just good StarCraft 1 builds, which I can't fault them for.
Yeah.
Right? It's definitely not a bad place to start. At the same time, you have many of these games from TY. Like, TY went for ghosts in one game.
Yeah.
And almost made it work.
Yeah, that would have actually been crazy if he did. I like Stats here, just like accidentally doing a Reaper wall as well here, just out of habit, it seems like. Or maybe it also helps versus Vultures, so that could still be useful, I guess. Never mind. It would have been really funny if you just accidentally cliff walled. Out of habit. All right, we're going to get Factory again off of a expansion here for TY. We'll see how many he decides to go for, and if he decides to actually go for a third or not, whereas Cure, last time we had this matchup, decided to go for that full-on 2-base all-in. So we'll see exactly what happens there, but we're going to have the Vultures coming out yet again. I imagine we're going to get... Which upgrade do you get? Do you get Speed or the Mines first, or what is it? Or do they come with Mines, right?
No, they don't come with Mines.
Okay, you do have to upgrade
and they don't come with Speed either.
Yeah.
There are different builds that use different attacks. I mean, I think Mines versus Protoss is generally considered the correct upgrade to get because of what you can get done with it. But there are some weird things where you get speed in certain matchups. Now, the Adept, it can play keep away. Oh, and it did.
Slick.
And he did. I was literally
that's a gamer Adept.
Teeing up to be like, and he won't be able to get away this time around. So we've got Blink coming down. Sorry, everybody. Blink Stalkers are kind of the norm in PvT for StarCraft 2. One of the issues is if you're going to play against Terran Mech, it does seem like even Vultures are pretty good against Stalkers with Blink. Besides the little micro ability, like Vultures are just pretty good units. And StarCraft 1 mines are just as good against StarCraft 2 Protoss as they are against StarCraft 1 Protoss.
Yeah, I remember the blink up into the main from the last one we did, where it just blinked into like 5 different spider mines
Yeah.
and just lost absolutely everything. So Stats actually is going to be going for a 4-gate blink opener. So if TY is recognizing this, he could go for the same play of getting a bunch of mines in his main base here. That's hilarious that that's actually hidden by that right there. Yes.
Yeah, he really can't attack that.
Yeah, that's a line of sight blocker.
That's so
Pretty
funny.
But yeah, we'll see if Stats is maybe able to do a little bit more with his aggressive blink opener than what we saw in the last Time Warp show match. But it will be an expansion as well coming behind it, so perhaps he actually will just kind of... Oh, there's the Prism. I was going to say he's just going to do it a bit defensively to make sure he just really doesn't die to any early pressure, but he will be getting the Prism as well, so he's going to go for the pressure while still expanding behind it. We'll use these Stalkers and Observer to kill off these mines here in the middle. I think it's just generally a bit easier to kill off these mines with Stalker Observer.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're just the range and everything. You can even blink as well.
Yeah, I mean... I think that there's a real threat that the Stalker Blink-In could just kill Terran. Because if you have observers, like the mines are not that scary. And Stalkers should, in theory, be better at, playing keep away from vultures that try to surround them and plant mines. Dragoons, if you get like 2 or 3 of them, and then you have like, let's say, 10 vultures, you can surround them, plant 1 or 2 mines, and run out. And sometimes the Dragoons just get stuck. Oh my god, and Terran's leaving his base.
Oh, if he realized this, he's going to blink on them. I'm not sure if that's the correct move, as there's a bunch of vultures still behind those Marines. Some nice pickup micro here by Stats to be able to dodge some of these shots. Will actually be pretty decent here, and he's not actually going to be able to get too many mines. Target firing some of those mines is Stats. Look at that micro coming out. Oh my god, this is excellent out of him.
Dude, the control is so good. Oh my god, and another big warp in. I think he can just basically walk over him.
Stats just dabbed all over TY right there. That was crazy.
That was insane. He's going to bring the Observer back. He might as well just blink in the main. I don't even think you attack the front.
Yeah, I mean, there are 3 tanks here. Siege is actually not done yet, though. There's 13 seconds, so there's a bit of a timing window here if he tries to go for it. Oh my god! He tried to blink dodge it, but it's still connected.
Yeah, I think it kept chasing the blink Stalker. I've never seen that.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
So he almost blinked a mine like into his middle of his army. I've never seen that.
Oh my god, and that's going to allow Tank Siege to finish up here. So a blink in right into a Siege tank. Still some micro coming out for Stats, though, with this Prism is going to be pretty decent. The other 2 tanks are not quite Siege just yet, but I think this should be it for now. It's not going to be easy to blink on top of 3 Brood War Siege tanks here, so Stats will be backing up. His probe count's still pretty decent, though, because he, again, still got that 3rd base before all of this happened, so he's still going to be okay economically, and he will be actually going right to the 4th base as well, at the gold.
Okay, he's going to fly in here with the Warp Prism. I think he's safe because there's tanks in the back. But keep in mind, I mean, you can juggle these Stalkers. You can kind of play keep away. Oh my god, he comes in here as well. Dude, I mean, you're really seeing the weakness of Siege tanks when they can't cover everything.
Yeah, I mean, all those Vultures dying early as well means that he's not able to just chase down the Stalkers and move those between. He literally has 4 tanks as his whole army. He can't move those around. All of the SCVs getting sacrificed to push these Stalkers away. He's losing 23, not 25. He can blink right back into the main. Oh, he's going to blink out. Okay. Blinks out, but he could have just kept going as well. Gotten probably a few more here. And I mean, this is just incredible damage coming out for Stats right now. An excellent opener and really abusing the clear weaknesses of what a Brood War Terran comes to play here.
Okay. Terran is obviously hurting, low on SCVs, but I don't think dead. I think far from it. I think you can basically start to remake SCVs and try to power up, but Stats is looking very scary. He's on 4 bases, or soon to be 4. I think there's one warping in over here. And, he's got the map. He's got complete dominion of everywhere else. Terran's turtled up, but, that is kind of the way that mech works, right? You're going to be staying back for a little bit. And
yeah, they're totally fine just sitting on their butt for a while. They don't actually want to move out, so if they have an excuse to do that even more, then why not? I mean, Stats is going to be the one that's trying to actually make some more work here because he did quite a lot of damage for that economy. I mean, he's got 4 bases. He's going to go up to 5 as well, but it's actually, he did stop probing for quite a bit here, but he's still getting an incredible amount of income, especially with that gold base. So he doesn't actually need that many more workers because of how that works out there. And now he's going to try to go for another bust to really break this and deny the 3rd base here. He doesn't have any immortals. He's choosing going for Archons instead, so it's just going to be a huge charge lot Archon attack, which is, I mean, there's just not, there's not that many tanks here, so I feel like this should be able to get on top of all of this because there's no vultures here to protect them either. He's just going to jump right on top of everything. Oh my god, the Zealots just don't get, they don't die at all. A pure amazing win here for Stats, just completely breaking him, and that is going to be a nice quick win for our Protoss.
I gotta say, impressive game from Stats. It's funny, you know, on some level I would have thought maybe there's more that Terran can do to deal with that. But you can see you don't really get Marines. Obviously, you don't have like a bunch of bunkers in your main, which in StarCraft 2, that's how you deal with that. You have maybe 1 bunker in your main, you have 1 bunker at your natural, and then you have the tanks kind of like daisy chained together so that like this tank covers that one, and then the one behind that, there's another one. So that there's nowhere to really blink in and deal with it. But when you go for mech in StarCraft 1, you're trying to stop making Marines as soon as it makes sense. And sometimes that means like you stop at 3 Marines or something like that.
You basically don't make any.
I think he got up to 6. But then what happens is that there's not a whole lot covering the tanks. And I didn't really appreciate how well Stalkers can be microed, even against the StarCraft 1 Terran. It's kind of crazy.
Yep.
So we're going to go to our brackets right now. So that is going to be a win for Stats, 1-1 right now in our second best of 5. So right now, Team B is up in a win overall here, as Hero clutched the ace match in the first best of 5. In the second best of 5, we're even. Oh, my God. Thank you for the big tip, man. 500.
Whoa.
Whoa. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, upgrade.
Well, that's a massive
support is massive,
massive
man.
tip. Thank you for that so much.
Thank you so much. This has been so fun, guys. This has been so cool. And, you know, I love StarCraft 1 and I love StarCraft 2, but I never thought we'd have a mod like this where you could kind of mix the 2 games together, and then you just get to see what happens. And I think whether you're a fan of one and not the other, you got to admit this has been interesting. And maybe if you were a fan of one game and not the other, you're kind of seeing how the same race, works in the other game, and it's kind of fun and cool too.
I mean, it might even promote or might even motivate you to try and play one of the other games a little bit too, fiddle around, see what it's like. I mean, Brood War is pretty fun. Being a StarCraft 2 guy mostly, I still played Brood War when I was a kid, and I just know about it. But it's been cool just to kind of revisit some of the builds, some of the units. I mean, it's just such a nostalgic, trip basically, just to be able to. I mean, the fact that they poured in all the sounds and everything as well just really makes it fun to listen and just to play. So, I don't know if you were playing one of the 2 different games and you are seeing this and you'd never tried the other one, then, just go boot it up. They're both free to play. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to go ahead and start this game now. I think the cat's going to go to the cat tree here. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out. While we were doing the play-by-play of that last. All right, let him come on here, and then I'll pick him up and move him. Hold on. We're getting invaded by a cat. Let's get the cat cam up here. We have a cat. It's like a Nidus network popping out on the desk here. Take a look up here.
All right, I'm going to change. We'll put him up here. If he comes onto the desk, I can just pick him up and move him off, but.
What you got, Pickle? What you looking at?
No, not over there. Not over there. No. Come here. All right, get back in there. Get back in there. A second. All right. Yeah, the last thing I need is for him to walk on that soundboard. No. Dude, get out of here, man. Just go away. Why are you doing this?
Oh, my God. All right. Which team was just winning? It's 1-1, right?
It's 1-1.
Okay.
And Stork is over here on Team A.
Yeah.
And he's going to be playing StarCraft 2 Protoss. He did. I remember, guys. I think when we all think of Stork, we think StarCraft 1, which no one should fault you for that on. But he did have a lot of StarCraft 2, and he's going to be going up against Is this Hero?
Snow.
Snow, excuse me. Snow here. Who is obviously playing a StarCraft 1 Protoss, so this is going to be fun. These guys have had a ton of great games in the ASL. For those StarCraft 2 people that don't really know Snow's basically the best StarCraft 1 Protoss. He is the best StarCraft 1 PvTer of all time.
Wow. Wasn't it Stork or like didn't Stork have that title for a long time?
Stork was like that for a while, yeah.
Didn't Jungbi as well kind of have that?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you got to understand is that Snow is so, like, he, I think, has the best PvT win record by far.
Mm-hmm.
And even all the Terrans are basically the same. We've never dealt with anybody who's, like, this good.
Right.
But now we're going to get to see these two PvP legends duke it out. Stork on the StarCraft 2 Protoss and Snow on the StarCraft 1.
Yeah, I'm really curious how this ends up going because, I mean, Stork, obviously not having played so much StarCraft 2 for quite a long time, I'm curious what kind of a build he decides to go for here. It's really interesting watching me being a Protoss player just to see what the Brood War Protosses are doing when they are playing StarCraft 2, because it has looked, you know, a little bit wonky here and there. I remember even MC, someone who was extremely good at StarCraft 2, when he played StarCraft 2 again for the last show match, I mean, the build that he threw out was just totally wonky, just something you've never seen before ever. It was like a mix of StarCraft 1 and 2 Protoss from multiple different eras of their time. It was like such a weird opener, so it's just kind of interesting to see what they throw out. And this time it's going to be a proxy Stargate yet again, as we seem to be having the theme for today.
The placement of the buildings here for Snow, obviously very StarCraft 1-esque. Is that 3-gate?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-gate Dragoon. Wow, he's going to do this. This is very much a build in the game. He basically went for expand into 3-gate. This loses to DTs no matter what StarCraft you're playing in. But I guess we haven't really seen DTs used that much here.
No, we haven't at all, actually.
I do feel like StarCraft 1 DT Rush could be really strong. You get DTs faster in StarCraft 1. Blizzard actually made the Dark Shrine take much, much longer because they were afraid of newbies being turned off by dying to DTs too fast.
I wonder even a StarCraft 2 DTs would be so good in this because you can, it takes longer to get observers out as well, needing the observatory with a robo as well, right? So
yeah.
I feel like you can probably go for some real cheeky DT drop on one base or something like that. And that could be a very easy way to sneak a quick win here.
So with 2 base versus 1, I mean, if Snow lasts for any amount of time, he's just going to have a lead.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing here as well is that there's just no natural defense against an Oracle, which is going to be coming out here for Stork. So with all of these Dragoons right across the map here for Snow, there's absolutely nothing here to defend. One Dragoon is running its way over to the natural right as the Oracle comes on in, and the other Dragoons attacking over in the nat. But this is where the big damage is really going to get done, as yet again we find the Protoss is unable to deal with an Oracle on the other side of the map.
Does the Oracle beat a Dragoon?
Oh my god, that did so much damage.
I think if it had enough energy, it would have killed it.
Yeah, that was actually pretty crazy. I mean, the Dragoons on the other side will actually be able to deny this natural from coming up, so that's still very good. So Snow, all things considered, does still have a natural mining, and there's not another Oracle being made here. It was only the single one, which actually died, by the way. It looks like a Dragoon just barely got another hit off of it. So even though we just killed like 6 or 7 workers this is still not looking that great for Stork.
Now, yeah, I mean, the problem is Stork, okay, he does damage to the workers, but there's 2 Nexuses. This contain is extremely common in StarCraft 1. The idea is that, now in StarCraft 1, it's harder to get stuff down a ramp, so it's even more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But you basically just use your Dragoons, you do damage. And I think with Dragoon range, hold up.
Force field, don't exist in Brood War. We'll be able to trap a few of those Dragoons there, so pretty nice play here for Stork. But the problem here as well, though, is that he is going to be extremely behind economically despite that Oracle harass. And there's actually also going to be Reavers coming up here relatively soon once this Robo Bay finishes. So attacking into Reavers is going to be really difficult. I feel like Stork should have just gone with that. I mean, killing off a few of those Dragoons, there's not going to be anything else that can counterattack you as a Brood War Protoss in this situation. So I think it's very valuable just to walk across the map and just see what kind of damage you can get done. There's no Blink that could chase you. There's not going to be a charge that can come out at you. There's no Oracle coming out from the other side or a Prism with 2 Immortals. I think it would have been really good if he just walked right across, because I think he would have actually been able to get some damage done there.
Yeah, I think the ideas of Stork's build are cool, but the build order in general from Snow seems to be a little bit better. Like, he's just going to have... harass doesn't matter if you're ahead enough in bases.
Yeah.
You're basically able to just remake the probes immediately. Now, he's going to take a third, and we're going to get into mid-game PvP. Now, Reavers are coming out. There's a shuttle available, too, and shuttle speed is being upgraded. I don't know how SC2 units are really going to fare versus Dragoon Reaver. I think Dragoon Reaver is just a straightforward, really strong unit comp. But let's see.
Yeah, so this is a bunch of just unupgraded gateway units here. Nice force fields, actually. We'll be able to trap against some of these Dragoons, but the Reaver is here, and that's going to make it extremely difficult, especially with all that micro ability with the shuttle. There's no blink for these Stalkers, so it's not like you can easily blink on top and snipe it down or anything like that. So it's going to be forced to run back here as Stork. He doesn't actually have many batteries, only one here on the defense. We'll be getting an Immortal out, which will definitely help out.
And, I just don't know what a battery is going to do versus a Reaver.
Yeah.
The Reaver doesn't really care. And force fields, I don't think affect this as the same way as they do in StarCraft 2. So the Reaver's going to come up, boom, big shot there onto the Immortal, a pickup. He's going to back away. Speed is almost done, which is going to make this even deadlier.
I mean, this is actually doing not too bad here. Losing the Immortal is not what you want, though. I think it's kind of interesting because they're kind of fighting over the high ground situation, which in Brood War, that makes sense because the high ground damage doesn't actually connect all the time. But in StarCraft 2, that doesn't matter. And there was still vision from an observer and the shuttle, so he was still able to get some pretty decent shots. So at first, I thought it was going to be a terrible mistake, especially going outside of battery range. But it ended up actually not being the worst trade at all for Stork. The problem here now, though, is that this Reaver continues to go in the main base, and there's still no tech for the for Stork here. He's got no blink, no charge, and if you're going to a mid-game as a Protoss without any of those upgrades, you're really not in a good spot.
So, Stork survives the attack, but I think the bigger story here is just how much of the map Snow has gotten early on. He did a pretty smart move. I mean, he basically realized that I can just go for Dragoon Nexus. Oh, God, he has actually so many Dragoons. He might be able to win with a push.
16 Dragoons, man.
Yeah, and with 2 shuttles and a speed... sorry, 2 Reavers and a speed shuttle is what I'm trying to say. I mean, if you just get to this part, I think a push, you always win. I'm happy to be wrong here if this doesn't turn out to be the case, but I'm looking at this, and it's like, how do you deal with this?
Did that that didn't do damage.
Oh, that's weird.
Do we actually have duds in this game?
I have no
idea. Did
idea.
they somehow program a way to make duds happen? But anyways, this is just an insane amount of units here for Snow. I mean, the Reavers are just doing so much damage. They're totally untouched. Once again, fighting outside of battery range. We are not using overcharge.
GG.
That is going to be a nice little PvP victory here for Snow, which, I mean, again, though, it's kind of interesting. We had one game. We've had 3 games so far with the Oracles, all 3 of them looking like they should have ended the game, and only one of them actually did, which is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting little scenario there.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that Stork did not get a base up earlier and didn't do enough damage with his own harass. Snow would have died to DTs. That is actually like a pro tournament StarCraft 1 build, is Nexus really fast, and then you make 2 more gates on top of your original gate immediately. And you're just playing a very safe... You're safe against everything but DTs, if that makes sense. And people don't always go DTs. And one thing about StarCraft 1 PvP is it's a little bit more of a poker game. There's a little bit more bluffing. There's a little bit more trying to play out certain hands. And when you get in those situations, you might play the hand to the perfectly, but it doesn't matter because if they're playing a different hand, you lose, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And in that game, Stork went for Oracles, so you don't really care. You have another Nexus up. You have Dragoons. And he got his 3rd Nexus up as the 2nd Nexus was finishing. So as much as we emphasize... excuse me. As much as we emphasize Dragoon, Reaver, and how good it is, you really got to kind of look at the rhythm of expanding and not expanding to, I think, understand that game. And the risks that Snow did in his build order.
Yeah, I'm curious what a DT opener would look like in any of these matchups, really. I feel like we haven't explored that too much just yet. And, I mean, DT drops in Brood War PvT and just PvP, I feel like, are a little infamous. So it would be kind of cool to see that brought over here as well.
Let's take a look at the brackets here. So Snow won that. This is Team B. Up next is Hero versus Cure. Now, if Hero wins, guys, the show is over.
Yes, that is correct.
If Cure wins, we're going to go to the ace match. But right now, Team B has Team A up against the ropes.
I mean, it's a great matchup, too. I mean, Hero versus Cure, both playing SC2. So, yeah, I mean, Cure is being extremely good so far with the with everything. I think he won. Did he win both of his matches? I think he won or did he lose versus?
Let's see here. Hero versus Stork.
Oh no, it was Hero versus Cure for the ace match. That's
right.
why.
Yeah,
okay.
that,
So yeah, we
that's
have seen this before. Okay, there we go. That's what I was confused about. So yeah, we do have the rematch here then from the ace match of the first best of 5, and that's the one that Cure did not win because he tried for the big 2 base all in.
I think this is the first 1v1 with a StarCraft 2 Protoss versus StarCraft 1 Terran where I feel like Hero played it like in a way that it would look if we were a year or 2 out from this. Like he just macroed. He had the right composition, of units. He had the he had enough Immortals, but he didn't overdo it. And he kind of knew how to engage with the Vulture Tank Army. The Vulture Tank Army, PvT, it's really hard to deal with in StarCraft 1 as a StarCraft 1 Protoss.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to deal with in StarCraft 2. But, and we've had a lot of games that just kind of end, no matter how much damage the Terran receives. Once you get far enough out, like there's enough tanks and there's enough Vultures, it's pretty hard to deal with. But Hero did it. Hero actually held everything off. He looked really good.
Yep.
And so... a lot of pressure here on Cure. If Cure does not win here, there's just, I mean, that's the end of the story. It's going to be a 2-0. And I would love to go to a game number 3 here.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go for another proxy Oracle here. That would be kind of funny, just if it ends up being that proxy Oracle is just always a situation where you end up ahead as a StarCraft 2 Protoss versus a Brood War Terran. But I guess he's playing Brood War this time, though, so it is switched. So that actually won't happen. But
right.
Now it'll be curious.
Of course, they have to switch races. Yeah. So funny.
We can't even think about our own.
It is hard, man, when you have the guys switching races and these teams that we just throw together.
You guys don't get it, man. Casting's really hard.
It's really hard, guys. Do me a favor, guys. Go to tastelessthreads.com. That is my merch site. We've got a ton of great stuff that you can get there, including the shirt that I was wearing. What did I just do with my phone? Oh, I see. Okay, I left it on the table here. I was also going to say, guys, we want to say that this tournament is proudly brought to you by the Lords of the Realm. Realms World, excuse me. I can't talk today. Check them out. Use the command Realms. Go to realms.world. They're supporting our site. These guys are the leading decentralized autonomous organization experimenting with the marriage of blockchain and gaming. And without their support, we would not have a prize pool. And yes, Frosty Shake in the chat. You can buy my shirt. Tastelessthreads.com. You can use the command merch in the chat to check that out. I'm sure you'll find something you like on there.
I really like the one of just the goofy face of you and Dan.
That's the one that sells the most, is the ugly Tastosis drawing.
Which is so funny because that's like one of the worst shirts to wear in public.
Like
you just
I wore it in
have
public
an
once.
ugly face of 2 random people on your shirt going to a bar or something. It's just like, what are you wearing?
I streamed one day and I had that shirt on, and then I went to a bar with my friend, and the bartender's like, "Is that you on your shirt?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
No, I would never do that.
No, it's an ugly guy that looks like me, actually. Does it ship from? It ships. It's drop shipping, guys. You can get it anywhere. It's 2024, chat, and drop shipping is real. So, in this game, right away, Cure, who's going to be our StarCraft 2 Terran, is going up against Hero, who's fast expanding. Sorry, is this before Robo?
Yep.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Okay. This is a very cool build. I feel like this build, timing-wise, is a little bit different from anything else you really see in StarCraft 1. Zealot, Nexus, Dragoon, but Nexus before the Dragoon.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting it super fast because, I mean, there's not really much that the... I mean, unless it was a proxy, which I guess he's respecting, or he's assuming that Kier's not going to try to go for some super cheesy proxy racks or anything. There's not much that can come and kill you, right?
I don't think so. But, you know, I also didn't think that, you know, Oracles are going to be this popular. You know? It's funny. It's like you know both of the races, but when you see them fight, it's a whole different way to have to look at it to know.
Look at this little micro fight, man. This is wild. They're just going back and forth here. Oh my god, he's keeping the Zealot alive. That's crazy. Oh my god. That was awesome.
Yeah. And there's going to be a push here. The Reaper probably can't do much damage into the main either. I think he could maybe even like run under the bunker. Hero's going to keep one Dragoon back, try to catch the Reaper. He knows that's probably coming in. Okay.
How many shots does it take a Dragoon to kill a Reaper?
Maybe
1, 2,
4 or 5?
3, 4, 5.
So definitely 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same as a Stalker, but Dragoons. Oh my god, that range kicking in at the perfect time. Holy crap, that
Dragoon
was
range
awesome.
is a little bit ridiculous.
Oh my god, imagine if Stalkers had that. Oh my god, dude, I wish.
Every once in a while we have a pro game where someone somehow forgot Dragoon range.
Oh god.
And it's just so sad because you get it so early that people kind of forget about it, but sometimes you don't notice and you're just like, oh god, what is going on? I can't win any fights. Oh, I forgot Dragoon range.
That's actually insane how far he killed that Reaper from. Dude, I would never lose to Reapers ever again in this game. If I had this.
You should watch, you know.
Oh my god.
Just watch a stream where Artosis is trying to pull his tanks away. He like realizes he's going to lose the fight, and as you're watching, this Dragoon shot just comes out of the corner of the screen, and all of his tanks blow up.
They won't move. No.
What is Cure teching into? Could we get a shot of his main?
Yeah, he's going for a mine drop here, and then going into tanks after. Gonna go just a 3-1-1 like normal. Likely getting a couple Ravens, because I imagine... Oh, I just realized that the production tab off. Sorry. Yeah, it's going to be the Reaver drop here coming in from Hero, so he's probably going to go for some just forward Reaver play, trying to get as many shots off as possible. And then having the Ravens to disable the Reavers and the ship, the drop ship, is extremely, extremely important. We saw that a lot in the last show match that we did, where that interaction was actually pretty critical to stop the Broodor Protosses from just totally taking away the game.
So this Widowmine drop's going to come in. Oh, he's just ready. God, look at his placement.
Hero
now watch the Dragoon range here.
Oh my
yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, have fun trying to hide in the corners of a StarCraft 2 map with these Dragoons.
Oh, he's going to boost by. Oh, there's two more.
It's a trap. Oh, Admiral Backbar.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll be able to
they
get
don't
away.
do any damage to Widowmines. What is this?
That's pretty crazy.
It takes more shots to kill a StarCraft 1 tank with that. That's crazy.
Whoop! Wow.
Oh!
7 kills for the Widowmines. Loses all of them and the medevac, but not too bad of a damage there for Cure. But, I mean, this is a lot of Dragoons here, and the Reavers are going to be coming out here. But there will be the Raven, I guess, for it. Oh, 2 Ravens even, with the feints, with not Interference Matrix, I should say. So that should be pretty decent for the defense here. Pretty nice opening for Cure.
Okay, so we've got a counter push. Could we zoom in on the Citadel again? Look at this. It looks like it's some kind of lizard or snake that's like trying to blend in. It's like, it can change its colors.
It's a chameleon, bro.
It's like I can even blend into a Protoss SC EVO base. And it's like, oh yeah, I thought you were a Citadel, but I guess you're not.
Oh my god, that's so...
It does look like that, right?
It's like there's too many like red textures on it. Like you look at like the Robo and the Gateway, it's like they just put too many of them for some reason. Anyway, there's a Reaver over here.
Yeah.
More importantly.
Well, good thing we could talk about the important stuff in this cast.
Yeah.
So
oh my god, the range is crazy. Sorry. It's insane.
Yeah. God, Reavers are good. Could he actually get the what is it called? What is that thing that makes Stim called? Why do I not?
Tech Lab.
Tech Lab, thank you. Sorry, guys. I only do this for a living. I don't know what.
You're too hypnotized by that.
I don't know. Sometimes I forget a building when I'm casting SC EVO because
I do that with
getting them mixed up.
For some reason, I don't know the Viper upgrades. They're the abilities. I always forget the there's Blinding Cloud, and then there's the other one in the air, that hits air units.
Oh yeah. Some of the upgrade names
Parasitic Bomb. There we go.
Yeah, I don't use as often because
yeah.
I feel like if you don't know the game, you're just like, well, I don't know what you just said. I have that when I've tried to tune
You just made that word up.
Yeah, I've tried to tune into Dota Cast like in the past, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. You just used a word salad, and I can't follow this game now. Okay, so there's a real push coming out here. Now, a couple of Reaver shots could be huge. Keep in mind, a lot of SC2 Terrans are using the disable from the Raven so that when the Reaver's dropped, it can't get back in.
Oh, there's no speed just yet for that.
It didn't fire.
Oh, my.
I swear I saw the Scarab die inside of the Reaver when it was there. It's...
Oh, that is very unlucky here for Hero. And this is a massive push now coming out here with still plenty of interference matrix energy here. Even just going to drop down some turrets to really push this forward. I mean, this is, oh my god, we have a Dark Archon coming out from Hero. That's a play with Maelstrom as the choice of upgrade. Will this actually matter? I mean, there's not that much on the ground to support this one sole Archon here. It's actually going to get focus fired by the tanks before it even does anything. Oh my god, there's nothing here for Hero.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Cure takes the game.
Ace match.
Ace match. Ace match. Stream on, gamers.
Oh my god.
So yeah, let me get the graphic up here. Hold on. So yeah, Cure wins that. We're gonna get an ace match. It's gonna be Hero Cure again, I bet.
Oh, surely. Unless TY wants to throw himself in there again.
So TY. Yeah, actually, maybe TY it jumps in here.
It is interesting how they are just favoring all of the StarCraft 2 players. StarCraft 2
well, they
gamers
are.
are
They
just
are
better.
apparently. I think the reality is that people that played StarCraft 1, while they can hang in SC EVO, all the StarCraft 2 players did play StarCraft 1 professionally.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that follow StarCraft 2 don't really understand this, for how long StarCraft 1 was out. And a thing and on TV and a huge trend in Korea. There wasn't anybody who's like, well, who's this guy? We never heard of him before. And he just rose up to the top. And so I think when you have the ace match selection, they're just like, all right, get the best guy who's from StarCraft 2 because then he can play both.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for the ace match. Again, chat, remember, Team B won the first best of 5. So they have 1 point on the board. If Team B wins again here in this ace match, it's over. If Team A wins, we are tied up 1-1, and then we're going to be going into the ace best of 3.
Just accidentally yeeted Crank out of the lobby there for a second. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
It's a power play.
Yeah. I'm just asserting dominance myself as a caster. So yeah, Team SC2 here needs to win to get us to the Super Ace match, is what you just said, right? The SC2 side? You said Team B won the first one, right?
Team B won the first one.
So yeah, the SC2 players now. So whoever's playing StarCraft 2.
Team A is barely hanging on. Yeah, whoever's from StarCraft 2, if they win here, it's going to be big. We're still letting the players pick. Let's put our faces back on.
Oh, here we are.
Here we are in my tiny streaming room.
Yeah. We're not getting invaded by cats right now.
Dude, while we were doing some play-by-play, like right under the camera here, there's like one of my cats is like just trying to get on the keyboard the whole time.
Pickles is such a silly cat, man.
I had to force field the desk for a second. He's like on the outside. We don't have anybody in our game yet. We're still waiting.
Yeah, they're deciding they're ace players. They're taking a lot of time to really make sure it's all good.
Yeah. We got a lot of people on YouTube, by the way, guys. I see you on YouTube. Can I tab out of this for just 1 second? Sorry. The restream chat is actually covering up the YouTube chat. Okay, we're good now.
Nice. Hello, YouTube chat.
Yeah, we got a lot more people than normal on YouTube. On Twitch, of course, we see you guys. We love you. Be sure to follow or subscribe, whatever platform you're watching on. We get people popping on X from time to time as well.
Yeah, I'm always seeing that whenever I'm at work. I arrive at work is right basically when you're starting your stream, and I open up Twitter and I see your little thing up there, and I see your funny dancing class starting.
Yeah, let's put this is everybody watching right now, guys. Ready? This is you guys waiting for this match to start.
We're so excited for StarCraft.
Yeah, everybody's so happy.
God,
I'm pretty proud I found that.
Oh, it's gonna be stats TY this time.
Stats
Ooh,
versus
a
TY.
different
Stats
one.
on
Nice.
SC2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. I really like seeing this SC2 Protoss versus Brood War Terran interaction. I like that a lot more. It's very
been a very
interesting.
fun matchup to watch.
Should we send it whenever they're ready?
I think we're ready. Let's do it. So right now, either Team B is going to win the SC EVO show match, the Tasteless Time Warp number 2, or we are going to go into our ace match. Exciting stuff.
The Giga Ace match.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is Stats going to proxy another Oracle?
Yes. I can say that with confidence. That's what everybody's doing right now.
Yeah, every Protoss is just proxying.
We're going to be losing our minds. Like, doesn't he know what the meta is? Where's this proxy Oracle?
You can proxy other things too, man. Like what? You can do a Robo. You can do a DT Shrine.
All right, we're going to go into our game. And this is TY in the bottom left and Stats in the top left.
I actually thought you misspoke for a second there because it's been so long since we've had 4-player maps. I was like, what do you mean the top left?
Oh, I know,
dummy?
I know. I do like maps where you have more than one spawn. I know you can't really do that in StarCraft 2.
You know, I'm excited for that in some of the newer games coming out, like Stormgate and stuff, doing 4-player maps and whatnot. And it's always fun to see it in Brood War 2.
I feel like with StarCraft 2, we were a little bit too quick to just get the rules for the maps down a little bit. You know, I think it's a little bit better to have some experimentation on maps.
Yeah, but I also do just not like instantly losing to an unscouted 12 pool in PvZ, and that's very fun.
No,
for
I
me.
get that. I get that. I guess it just comes down to, you know, if you give somebody a lot of workers right away, it is a lot more things can happen. You know, like I've said before that I really like the mass amount of workers in StarCraft 2, and I think it was good, but I do miss when we had, like, what, 6 workers in StarCraft 2?
Yeah.
I thought the development of the early game was maybe a little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just the volatility of some cheeses and whatnot made it kind of exciting and like, it made it, you know, there's some, like, you know, real stakes there. Obviously, you know, cheesing in StarCraft 2 now is still relatively, you know, it's pretty all in at times, but it felt like, and especially like you think back to like the MVP Squirtle Game 7 with the proxy racks, it's like, that is just so all in on the line. It's like there's nothing coming back from this. It's like so crazy.
If I was like somehow in charge of StarCraft 2, and I would be changing the worker counts.
Oh my god, he's gonna do it
in certain patches. There it is. Get the meta stamp out. All right, meta approved. No, but I would be doing something like, okay, let's do less workers, let's do more workers, let's try to.
I'm curious what like a mid zone would be, like 8 or something.
The Goldilocks amount.
Yeah, man. Get the perfect porridge in there.
Yeah. Where Goldilocks plays one game and she goes, this game has too many workers. And then she tries the next computer and she goes, this game has too few. And then she plays the third game. This is just right. Uh-huh. And in this story, the bears just come home and eat Goldilocks, and that's the end of the story. They go, did you get on my computer? My mouse settings are wrong. Did someone change the speed of my mouse? I can't click. Who did this?
They try to go micro and Oracle in the base and just dies. It's like, what the? What is this?
What is happening?
Oh, my God.
Now, in this game, we've got the, I assume this is an Oracle. By the way, I still think you could do this with a Void Ray. Wow. Oh, okay.
Yep, Oracle. I mean, it's 4 Marines this time, so 5. We're getting them out consistently here as TY now, so perhaps expecting that the Oracles are going to be coming, and he's actually going to get the Scout off as well with this SCV somehow rallying back, so that's nice to know. The first Oracle is not quite out just yet, but again, like I just said, there's so many Marines this time compared to what we were seeing before, and it's going to be the Vulture even to go onto that pylon, so eventually that will get depowered as well.
Yeah, the Vulture actually does damage to StarCraft 2 pylons at a surprising amount.
Yeah. Oh, man, the Marines are actually doing a decent amount of damage, too. Wow. Brood War units just deal so much damage, man. What the heck?
Yeah, crazy. You can really see it in SC EVO.
So only 2 SCVs getting killed off here. The second Oracle might actually get out here, and it will. There's only one Vulture here, so not quite enough to deal to deny the pylon entirely for a second one. Oh! Thankfully, only a few hit points getting killed off there, but at least we do have TY in a pretty nice defensive setup here, so I feel like this time it's going to be a bit more difficult, perhaps, for Stats to really get something going for the mid-game if TY could just jumpstart a massive lead. That was some great micro, actually, by that Oracle as well to just completely kill off those Marines, and now we can actually get on top of the SCVs as well, so never mind. Apparently there is going to be some decent damage here. Interesting. Oh, TY's just going to YOLO.
Oh, man, this push is coming out.
Oh, this could be this could be a bit risky here. 4 Stats, only a few units. Blink only just starting here. If TY wins, it's over.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, the battery, I don't know how well that's going to serve you when there's spider mines down here. Okay, staying back.
Oh,
whoa,
my God, that was
sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, he just,
every single one.
You know, it's funny. I see that sometimes with Zealots, but I guess at Adept will do the same thing. More batteries coming down here. Yeah, dude, this push isn't going to do anything.
Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's no siege tank or siege mode for this tank, of course, because you do have to upgrade that in Brood War. So that's not going to be anything here either. So yeah, great defense with that Adept soaking up all of those mines right there. That was excellent. There's still going to be a few more units rallying in here for TY, so it's not quite done just yet. Supercharged, or just overcharged battery is going to be expired for now as well. But Blink is getting closer and closer to finishing here, and with the extra battery coming up, looks like TY realizes that, yeah, he's not going to be able to get too much damage here just yet. Oh my God.
Oh, of course. I forgot you could do that.
I was like, wait a second. He's just going to suicide his thing into the mines? Like, okay, well, no, they don't attack here. I forgot. Oh my God.
Don't know why. I mean, of course you can do that.
Oh, my goodness.
This is what makes this mod so fun.
Yeah.
Like, I did not even occur to me
Same thing with the barracks lifting in the other one. That was the funniest thing ever.
So funny. It's like in both the StarCrafts 2, and we're like, he's walled in.
So yeah, they're trying to get some more damage over here at this third base, but those will get cleared up. The Oracle's actually killed off a tank. That was pretty worthwhile right there. So nice pick off for Stats, keeping the Oracles as active as possible, and also getting the defense with those Vultures as well. Going to be able to wall this off, so any future Vulture run-bys will be even more difficult. And Stats here actually didn't get charged yet. He's not upgraded the probably most critical upgrade he could get against a meching player. So this could get a little bit interesting. Actually expanding all the way in the corner as well. That's very interesting. Wonder if that's ever going to get scouted.
Man, these Vultures just destroy pylons. It's wild for me to see. Oh, no. You know, the Stalkers are not actually that good versus Vultures either.
Yeah, the Blink maneuverability will allow them to stay quite alive, though, and the range is pretty good. Oh, nice flank as well on the bottom side.
These tanks aren't sieged up, so they're just going to get completely sandwiched.
Yeah, siege is still not done.
Oh,
it's over.
It's over. Oh, no, I'm actually,
Sorry,
know what?
The game is over. I meant just the game. But
just the game, but guess what? We're just getting started, actually. It just now begins. It begins is what you meant to say.
Oh, my bad, yes. I misspoke.
We're going to get the ace match.
Again. God, every single time, all three of the Afrika one, our last one, and this one, all going to the Super Ace match.
It really is a gift from the heavens,
man. This is just the most balanced game mod ever.
Yes.
Yeah. David Kim, step aside.
I don't think that TY can push that early.
Yeah. I think he was really expecting the mines to really connect a little bit better and the tanks just kind of shove forward, but that mine, not drag really, but just soak from the Adept was so clutch.
Yeah. So now each team has to pick their ace player. We're going to go to a quick break here. It will be about 10 minutes, and we're going to let the players pick who the ace player is. I'm going to just pull this up on screen real quick here. You can see it's a best of 3. It's Fighting Spirit, Alcyone, and Golden Aura. One player from Team A, one player from Team B. They do, one guy does a StarCraft 1 race, the other guy does a StarCraft 2 race, then the StarCraft 1 and 2s, they switch, and then we do a coin flip if we do go to Game 3. So that's what's happening.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be the similar players here. I feel like we're definitely going to get 2 StarCraft 2 players, as that's kind of been the trend for these ace match picks. But last time it was Hero coming out for the Team B here. And this time TY not quite able to get it done, but Hero was able to make it happen. So
TY having a poor performance today.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised about it.
It
overall.
does seem, yeah. It's one of these things where it's not. I mean, not too surprising because I feel like we have a lot of good players and people are adapting pretty fast. But it does make me wonder if TY is going to be the ace pick here. Is it going to be Hero? Hero seems to be somebody very solid they keep throwing in there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Hero is adapting really well to this whole style. I mean, he's just someone that is kind of really free form in how he plays, and even if he is having to play Brood War, I think he just seems to be kind of knowledgeable about how to do certain things. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like if the Team B really wants to win it, I feel like we can be seeing another Hero match here. I'll be honest, I kind of want to see a PvP.
I've had fun with that matchup.
Sounds.
No, I actually have had a lot of fun casting PvPs in this, and I feel like we haven't had enough. We're going to go to that break. Go to use the command Realms in the chat, guys. Check out our sponsor. They're supporting us. We love them. We appreciate them. We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned. Hey, everybody. We're back. Well, thank you. Wank you. Well, we're off to a terrible start. All right, close the tournament down. Sorry, everybody. I can't talk right now. We are back, and we're ready for the ace match. Thank you so much for waiting. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Enjoying these games. Getting ready for this sick ace match. Shall we reveal the players that we have in our ace?
Let's do it.
It's going to be hero and stats. It's going to be the PvP that I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah, this is very exciting. So stats versus hero. One player plays StarCraft 1, the other plays StarCraft 2, and then we switch. And if we get to a game 3, which I really hope we do get to, we'll be flipping a coin.
Yep.
Yeah. So and we'll see who plays what faction, and eventually we'll be crowning one team victorious here for the Tasteless Time Warp number 2 here.
I'm very excited. I just kind of like how these PvPs interact. I'm just very curious how the builds work and what the interactions are. You know, I mean, some people don't like PvP because it's, you know, it's PvP, it's volatile, it's quick sometimes. But I kind of just like seeing the chaos and seeing what happens. I want to see some crazy stuff. Give me a proxy robo from StarCraft 2.
Dude, let's get
to
some
kill
DTs.
BT. Yeah,
Let's get some DTs
Let me see
in
a
here.
DT rush. I have this super cheeky build that I use that's just literally a proxy DT and robo drop. So you drop DTs in their base at 4 minutes in the game. It's so fun.
There's just a lot of stuff you can do with both races early on PvP. So this should be fun. But I do feel like DT Rush is the way. I'm ready to
Yes.
start whenever you are.
Let's get them going. They're all chatting away, talking about which race they think is harder, which game they think is hard to play, and which one and whatnot. So they're all here. Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. And again, thank you so much for joining us here for the show match. This has been really fun to do. Thank you, Gemini, for casting with me.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Excuse me, I'm
Great to have-
burping. I'm like, thank you, Gemini. We're going to go into this game. Every once in a while I'm casting, I'm like, I'm about to burp. Like, get your statement out, Tasteless. And I realized we're still on camera. I was going to do one of those exhale burps, like. We've got stats in the top left in StarCraft 1. We've got hero in the top right, StarCraft 2.
Yep. So they'll be doing this and then switching the next map for their different ones. So stats will play Brood War and, hero will be playing Brood War. Stats will be playing SC2.
No matter what, we
it's
get
so
one
hard
on
to
each
talk
side.
about.
No, I know this.
This is the most confusing
There's like
thing
an
ever.
extra network in my brain that I'm still trying to grow to get over who's playing on what team with which StarCraft and
Oh my
all
God.
that. So both sides going for gateways touching the entrance.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And that's got to be just habit out of stats.
Yeah, I
he
feel like that's
definitely was just
muscle
like,
memory.
oh, wait, crap, I shouldn't have done that. Like, it's not really going to matter that much, but it's still, it's just kind of funny to note. Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get some sort of proxy. I mean, this is a forward-player map, so it'll be a little bit more difficult to throw out some proxy stuff, but I think it's I mean, we've seen the oracles on this map already, so it's definitely a possibility, but in PvP, it could still be a little bit more challenging because you really need to have the units still somewhat close to the other base to actually have the attack be worthwhile. So we'll see what ends up happening. Stats going to be going for this expansion here. We'll be getting that actually quite early, surprisingly.
Yeah, so, the StarCraft 2 builds, obviously, even if they look funny, they're still a little bit familiar because it's the same number of starting workers. But the StarCraft 1 builds in SC EVO, they do seem to be a little bit, no matter how you cut it, funny looking because you just get more workers in the SC EVO build. So I guess this just makes sense. We saw, I think this was actually in a PVT, we saw the same build earlier where they went for a Zealot, Cybernetics Core, Nexus, then Dragoon. And in this case, a second gateway out here.
Yeah, I'm just curious how this actually defends certain things. Because, I mean, if this is like if this was like a proxy robo or something, like you generally just can't defend an expansion this early while going for just one gate as a StarCraft 2 Protoss versus a proxy robo. It's very, very difficult unless you're going for some super ultra max packs refined one gate expand on a high ground ramp map or something. But that's not the case here. So Hero is going to be going for just something a little bit more standard, getting a couple of stalkers out. Could still go for like a 3-gate robo off of a non-proxied robo. It looks like he might actually go for that as he's starting to put a forward pylon here. So this could still ramp up pretty quickly.
So, he could make a robo with Immortals and try to gun down the Dragoons. I would imagine the Immortals are probably going to be pretty good versus that. But it's going to be a proxied gateway, so maybe interesting. So maybe he just wants to try to kind of burst through here with quick warp-ins off of 3 gates. I mean, I guess it's not really fancy, but it doesn't need to be. Who cares? A win is a win, right?
Yeah, there's no shield batteries to defend either, which is going to be a bit more difficult for stats here. So as long as he doesn't lose some of these early units, because again, the Dragoons actually do insane damage this early. So if he doesn't get a little too risky with these early trades, then eventually he will just have a massive flood of units that should be able to just break on through, because there's really no batteries to help shield up these Dragoons once they get so weakened. And I mean, here again, you can see just how much damage some of these Dragoons do once they actually connect onto these Stalkers.
StarCraft 2 Stalkers are, I think, just one like stat faster than Dragoons are, so you can kind of chase them down. Dragoon range is done, by the way, so Dragoons are going to have a lot more reach with their shots, so they can actually be kited a little bit better. And I think that range is a little bit better than Stalkers. Hold up, he's coming in. He fires down on one Dragoon. The probes are going to be pulled, but I think there's too many Stalkers. It's starting to feel a little bit like the game's beginning to snowball. And on top of that, Blink is just starting now here for Hero.
Yeah, this is looking really good for him. Like I was saying, there's no batteries that you can fall back to. Yeah, the range of Dragoons is pretty sick, but if you're already down on the Dragoon count when the Stalkers are already up in your face, that's not actually going to come into play here. It's going to make it nice here to be able to kite back, but there's just so many Stalkers, and there's a lot of probes that are being killed off here as well, that it's going to make it really hard for Stats to actually keep his economy up to be able to produce enough to defend.
Okay, more Stalkers continuing to warp in. It's almost no probes mining right now. These probes are going to get in the way. The Stalkers are going to slip right through. They're going to take out 1 and then 2 Dragoons. Does he? Okay, he decides to back up. Now, 14 workers have been killed here, making the worker count even. Remember that Red right now does not have a second base. The Stalkers are coming up. Again, more Dragoons are beginning to filter out right now. Great control here. It's 4 Dragoons at a time. He's going to try to move up the ramp. Dude, there's 1 pylon.
Artosis, we are beckoning.
Yes.
Please join us. Oh, no, it's not going to happen. Forced down the ramp, unfortunately. But, I mean, this is still looking really great for Hero. He's going to have Blink coming up here as well, so if the micro ability wasn't already there with the extra mobility, it's definitely going to be now. And, I mean, Stats, all things considered, was doing pretty good to defend this up until now, but with this Blink finish, he's getting right up into the face of these Dragoons yet again. That extra range not coming into play anymore. 6 around with those probes, but that's not going to be enough. Hero taking the first map of this best-of-3 ace match.
That was sick. Could he have held if he had a battery? I don't know.
Like
I think
a Brood War battery?
They do give you some shields.
Yeah,
they do give you some sustain.
Is it worth it though? Like it's.
I mean, I don't know. You know, in
StarCraft you have to
1,
get the point and click it.
Every once in a while in StarCraft 1, the battery is like the only. It's the only thing you should do. But most of the time, you should not be doing it.
Yeah.
There is a build where you go for a very quick robo, and you just get a reaver.
Right.
And I think that holds with a battery. With a battery, I think that's the play. So now it's going to be Hero playing StarCraft 1 Protoss versus Stats playing StarCraft 2 Protoss.
Dude, I wonder what would have happened if he rushed DTs. Dude, I keep kicking Crank out by accident because the thing moves.
You want me to text him? Make sure.
Oh my god! I was doing this to Indy last time too. Oh, that's so funny.
Okay.
Sorry, what were you trying to say?
I forgot. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Damn it.
So we are getting Crank back in the game.
Yeah, we're good.
Again, guys, the winning team is going to get 5 million won in prizes. That's, I think, like 3.6K USD, something like that. We're still getting the players in the game.
So Stats is SC2, Hero Brood War this time, right?
Sorry, what?
Hero's Brood War this time, right? Stats SC2, because he just did the. Yeah, it's right. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, we're good. All right, go ahead. You can keep talking again.
You're like, Tasteless, can you name all the capitals of states in America? I'm like, yeah, I mean, okay. I think we're ready to go. Guys, see this shirt? I rarely wear this shirt when I stream. We got a whole bunch of cool shirts. You can get it at tastelessthreads.com. That's my merch shop. Mugs, posters, hoodies, all sorts of stuff. So check it out. Support the cause. Do the right thing. And are we ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's see if these guys are ready. They are
getting that confirmed.
Absolutely ready. God,
Build order notebooks. Thank you, Shield Battery.
Build order notebooks.
Why do I even wear a shirt? Oh, my body without a shirt. Let me tell you something, man.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Cookie dough dropped in the barber shop is what my body looks like.
Barber shop.
I was born to wear shirts and cover my body.
Why is there cookie dough in a barber shop? What?
And it was dropped. So I got all that hair on it, and that's what my body looks like. All right, guys, now that we're done visualizing me naked, let's get into this game. We've got stats here in the bottom left. This is a StarCraft 2 Protoss. And he is going to be up against Hero in the top right here. In the red, StarCraft 1 Protoss. Everybody, hold on. Siri's opened up on my phone. Everybody but Siri on my phone. How does that happen? Okay. Guys, we want to, real quick here, thank our sponsors. This tournament is proudly brought to you by the Lords of Realms.world, the leading decentralized autonomous organization experimenting with the marriage of blockchain and gaming. They have put up the money for the prize pool, and we love them for it. Thank you so much. I'm hoping we get a Game 3 here. I want to just eke out as many games as possible.
I want to see just how much this PvP interaction ends up going. I want to see more shenanigans. Give me some DTs. I can't believe we haven't seen any DTs in any of these games yet. That's so wild to me.
I know. Well,
like, they're such a staple Protoss unit. Like, surely, if you're trying to go gimmicks, just throw in some DTs. Like, we need to see that.
Yeah. No, I mean, we would win this stupid tournament if we didn't have to cast it.
So true.
Yeah.
We would be better than all of them.
Yeah.
Pro gamers are bad,
They are
and we
bad,
are better,
yeah,
and we think smarter than them.
Yeah, and they can't even talk, so...
Put them in front of them, like, see what they do.
Yeah, see what they do, huh? They're going to be all mom spaghetti while they try to, they perfectly explain how the game works. No, I agree, honestly. I think that the DTs are the way to go, man. It just seems like everybody's so caught up with Reavers and or like that Stalker push. It seems
no
like,
one's making robos in any of these
no one's
games.
getting detection at all.
It's insane. I just want to hear the Brood War DT swipe again, man. That sound is so sick. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just so... just the sounds of Brood War are just
I
so
do
good.
think if you look at Brood War, for all the great things that it is, I think it is an audio masterpiece.
Oh, yeah.
I really think that the sound effects, I don't know if you're going to find a game that has better sound effects.
They're so, like, unique. They're so, like, you instantly know what it is when you hear it. And it's, like, so defined in what the sound actually is transmitting or whatever. It's just like, oh, so gritty, so beautiful. It's amazing.
It is. It really is. Now, in this match here, will we? I know. I was saying this earlier, but I'm going to take it back. I was like, maybe you could go Void Ray again, but no. I guess
in this,
how good would Void Rays be against Dragoons? I guess probably not that good, right?
The question is, are they armored? And I can't tell in this UI thing if they're actually armored or not. If they are, then I think they would be very good. But the range, if it comes on quick enough, which it looks like. Excuse me. Looks like it does because you get it pretty early here. I think it actually would make them pretty bad because then you can't really even micro the Void Ray in and out of the Stalker range at all. So you would just get picked off as you try to move back. We finally have a Robo being made, so at least it's not DTs this time. Maybe Hero is trying to go for some one-base Reaver shenanigans this time. We'll see if this is going to be able to do anything because there is an Oracle coming out. But Hero, this is what I'm talking about. SC2 players, man, they just understand if there's something missing on the map, it's probably going to be an Oracle. So boom, just put your Dragoons in the mineral line.
With range.
With range.
With range. Look at him go.
Look at this. Can't do anything. I wonder if there's no way you can shoot it from that
No.
far, right? No way. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that would be the most insane
Oh,
thing
yeah,
ever.
right.
I mean, it looks kind of close. Like, just with how we've seen the range so far, it's actually not that far off. Like, I feel like if it just moves a tiny bit, it could actually get it. Second Oracle will get out as well.
This is just what keeps happening. I like, well, I guess, if you're going to expand versus stats here, you may have a problem because as much of a nuisance as this Oracle is, do you actually have the tools at your disposal to stop a Dragoon Reaver push?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, the batteries as well, like you were saying, as useful as they are usually in early game PvP, I mean, they don't really do that much when you have a bunch of Reaver Scarabs blowing up in your face. It's like a bunch of Disruptor shots being just thrown out instantly all the time. Batteries don't really heal against that, so with that factored in, it could be quite difficult, even though Hero is going to be expanding later. He might just be able to get enough pressure done where he's just kind of able to maybe even it out just a little bit, I guess, because he's got the unit advantage. We'll see.
Dragoon Reaver is really proven to be like probably the scariest thing in SC EVO, at least for now. It was, there was a period where everybody went Dragoon Reaver in Brood War too. It turned out to kind of be relegated to PvP. But it was used in PvT. I know that you see it in PvT, by the way, Dragoon Reaver, but not a Dragoon Reaver push, by the way.
Right.
Unless you're doing a weird cheese where you get there before siege mode. In PvZ, it's like a weird alternative build that we almost never see. But in SC EVO, it just seems like everybody gets what they, all that tech up pretty fast. So this is going to be the most important part here, probably of this early game, is this push. And can stats actually hang on? Dude, he's so smart. He baits that out.
Oh! Oh, it's so sick. Second one also on the same clump of units. Force Field's trying to get thrown out, but the Stasis Dragoon actually blocks it. And the Immortal's just going to get jumped on. Dude, Hero is just sick at this matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, Probe's getting pulled, and the Immortal, but
he drops the Reaver. Or that's not the way to say it. He loses the Reaver. But is it too late? I mean, all the probes are falling.
Oracle's on the backstab. We'll be able to get all of the probes of Hero on the other side, though. But there's so many Dragoons right here, and the Pylons are under threat. He's trying to desperately warp in some batteries to help deal with this. The probe's getting pulled as well. I would have loved if he tried to mineral walk that to try and get the huge block off. Now we're going to be able to do some juggle micro with a Brood War shuttle. Not something you normally see on Dragoons here. Usually it's the Reaver.
Yeah, no speed right now on that shuttle.
Zero
so there's
probes.
0 workers. But hold on. By the way, he has no minerals, so he can't make workers.
Oh my god, he's going to target down the shield battery. The extra range is huge here. Will allow the Immortal to get quite a few shots, but look at how much damage actually gets thrown down from these Dragoons onto the Immortal. It's absolutely ridiculous. Everything going to get out-empowered as well. Artosis has finally joined us here as his Pylon gets killed off. The Immortal also getting sniped down.
Hold up. Dragoons are basically better than Stalkers. Probes are going to be pulled. This is insane, dude. This is crazy. I don't know who's going to win this. He needs to pick up that weaker Dragoon.
The Probe's not actually getting the surround because he's not mineral walking through the ramp here, but he's just trying to throw down as many shots as possible.
There's a Reaver. He spent the rest of his resources on Scarabs, I assume.
He's got the 2 Oracles still as well, but that's going to be a little hard to actually get some damage done. It's just maybe going to be like 1 shot each. He can't get these things repowered. Oh my god, the split off nicely there by stats. But, oh my god, there's just so many units. The Oracle's coming in as well, trying to focus down the Reaver. Gets picked up. Oh my god, we're going down to the last possible unit, and all the probes evaporating. Hero's finally done it.
Whoa.
That was wild.
Dude, that was so good. What a game.
Oh my god, dude. He had one supply left. He had one
crazy,
probe.
Man.
Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I love the attempt to even focus down the Reaver at the end right there. That was super sick. But it just barely got that 1 extra shot, and all of the probes just evaporate with the Dragoons as well. Oh, my God, that was close.
I mean, that was fun. That was a really fun game.
That's why PvP is the best matchup.
That's why. That's why all the best players play Protoss. All the best casters play Protoss, too. I don't know if he could have stopped that. I'm not sure. By the way, Oracle's a little bit better against Dragoons than I thought.
Yeah,
I think
surprised.
in my mind, I'm like, oh, a Dragoon would just beat an Oracle. But an Oracle does beat a Dragoon.
I mean, I think he needed a couple extra batteries earlier, and he needed to spread them out, because then the Reaver can't get splash damage onto them. And I think if he puts them even farther back, so that way they don't get focus fired as easily by the Dragoons when they jump up, because the range is so sick on them. So they can actually hit those batteries from so far away. But if he had kept them further back, then it might have, because especially in the main base, he put those 2 batteries like right next to the pylons, but then that allowed Hero to just kind of jump forward and snipe them when he still had the Immortal and Stalkers. So, but if they were farther back by the Nexus, I don't think he's able to actually jump on the battery, and I think he can actually trade equally there as stats.
I wonder if you had a Warp Prism, if you could micro with the
dodge
Immortal?
the Reaver shots?
Yeah, But then again,
Ooh.
I guess Dragoons have a lot of range, right? They can
Yeah,
maybe
it's really
shoot the Warp
risky.
Prism.
It's way easier to dive the Prism, yeah.
I always think of Stalkers as long-range units, but then I see a Dragoon, and I'm like, oh, well, actually, that's way better range.
Yeah. That was super knife's edge. It's totally crazy. I wonder if he would have left one more stasis further back, because he put one in the Nat, like in the choke point, which was easily spotted, and then Hero just baited one Dragoon out to deny it. But then if he had put one further back by the batteries, so that when he eventually dives in, he doesn't notice it, and then he gets trapped, and he still has a decent amount of energy to still kill a lot of probes on the other side. I think if you had either a couple more batteries, a couple more stasis wards, or both, then I think he actually can hold that.
Yeah, I think so. I wonder if Force Field at the ramp would have been good. It's hard to elevator Dragoons into the main. It's not like Warp Prisms where you can kind of like suck them up and shoot them right back out.
Yeah, because you have to be right on top of it.
Yeah.
You don't have the extra.
The shuttle's actually
range.
it's a very clunky unit. I mean, with speed, it's pretty scary, but compared to a Warp Prism's like 10 times better. But I wonder if the real play is like you sack the main, you sack your main, and then you use your oracles to kill other workers, and you just like hold off. And they don't have any workers, and the game is won later on, regardless. I'm also still curious why he didn't. Like I said it a couple of times, he didn't mineral walk down the ramp, because you can do that when like they're retreating down the ramp. You mineral walk all your probes, and then they go through it, and then you just get the huge surround on the ramp. If he had done that either of the 2 times, again, that's still the thing where then you can't easily move them back with the shuttle because of the not having enough range. So that also, I think, should have been able to help to deal with that. That was super down to the wire. There's just a couple Dragoons left at the end. Well, guys, this does it for the Tasteless Time Warp 2. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again to our sponsors at Realms World. Use the command Realms. Give their website a visit. Give them some love. They are supporting us here at Tasteless TV. Gemini, I could not have done this little tournament without you, with the observing and the casting and the banter. Excellent work.
Thank you very much. No, it was great to be here yet again. It's super fun to do these. I mean, the games have been super action-packed. Just so unique, so new, just different types of things that we've really never even thought about. The barracks being able to lift instead of the depots.
Who saw that coming?
It was so funny.
Caster Muse. Crank, as well as Kiwian. Yeah, Kiwian has been really pushing this mod. Indy supporting and casting in Polish. We appreciate those guys. This is fun. Be sure to follow the channel if you're not following already. I am in the middle of being about to finish the Warcraft 3. I mean, you've been on that
grind for forever, I feel like.
Some of the levels take like really long.
No, I've tuned in every now and then, and I see it says it takes like 30, 40 minutes.
Sometimes
just to
like
do
an hour and a half to get through a mission.
Nice.
Well, I'm also bad, okay? So it's like I'm not doing myself any favors there. But yeah, I mean, it's been a blast. And so I guess we find somebody to raid here. Let me
Sure.
get over here. Guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Let's see who's on.
You can click StarCraft 2 maybe and see who's live.
Yeah, let me see if they've got anybody that is a buddy who I can. Yeah, let's raid Rainer.
Nice.
Is he back in Korea or is he?
Yeah, he's still in Korea.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're raiding Rainer. Thank you for hanging out on YouTube, guys. I see you. I love you. Twitch, of course, we see you here too as well, guys. Have a good one. Take care, everybody. Tasteless out.
GG's.
GG's. Bye-bye.